Welcome everybody to the two-man power trip, the black man starting the nerd lifestyle. I'm Nicholas, Mr. Go With The Flow.
And I'm the man with the plan, Maurice.
And we're back with another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast. Happy Black History Month, everybody. We black, blackity black, blackity black, black is still here.
Yes, we still extra black, y'all.
Yup. It's the middle of the month, but still, we still black. We still black. Black history goes on all months. Remember that, all months, we still black.
Facts.
Yup. All right, we switching into that Vibe Guys section. Talking about our weekends. My weekend was chill. All good for Valentine's Day. Kenya came over. I gave her gifts early. The game was Sunday. Big chilling throughout the week. You know, the usual work bullshit going through, but a little extra stank on it for that Thursday flavor. But yeah, man, that was kind of my weekend vibe, guys.
Yeah, my weekend was chill. I watched half of the Super Bowl and the halftime show, and that was it.
Pretty much.
And the work week, the BS happened Monday. It's been lingering around like Elon Musk today. and I'm over it. I'm glad today's Thursday.
Facts. Rolling on through. So that was the shift of vibe, guys, this week. Kind of pretty. Since it's chill, ain't no crazy stories going down, so we can shift on to it.
Gremlins.
Yeah.
Gremlins and what the fucks.
Yeah. Gremlins trying to attack us and our spirits and all that shit. Take two. So
I'm the gremlin today.
Oh please no! The gremlins hit any kind of issue. So even if you think it's you, nah, it's really gremlins on the inside.
I'm like, you had one job, press the button.
Yeah, but the gremlins were speaking in your ear like, don't push the button.
Oh man!
So they fucking you up. But nonetheless, that's why it's two of us in here. When somebody out here looking deep into the spectrum, you gotta check. You gotta talk to your co-host and be like, yo, we recording? Shit. All right, so
yeah, man.
So let's dip out into the pod shoutouts. So on my list for the pod shoutouts to my girlfriend, the Captain Kenya, Black Ramen Podcast, Sentai Fountain of Knowledge Peter, always showing love. Jabbateers Podcast, big shout outs to the big Spotify deal for Sir Wilkins and just the team in general and all those people in the wrestling podcast space. Big shout outs to y'all. We trying to be on y'all level because y'all getting big money out here. That's big respect. Sasson Talk, your sports show, True Heel Heat, 2.5 Bros, Great Space, Eli, respect. It's Relational, Keymar, respect. Keeping it 9,000 with all them great interviews. The Spicy Ramen Podcast with the Fire. Fat Man DKC as always. FTO Wire. Showing and Tape Podcast. I always got our backs and we got theirs too. RX Superstar Junie. Bad Guy Jack of the Unpopular Review. Big support. We saw that little post you did. And all the just posts in general that you do just shouting out us. And we pay it forward. Shout out to y'all in the Unpopular Review. And we gonna post all that support all around. But yeah, big respect. We have good and funny ass conversations back and forth.
Oh yeah, Jack is a champ.
Don't
worry, Jack. We gonna give you your flowers one day, man.
Facts.
Us and Shay. Don't worry.
Facts. That and when you just hop up on the podcast as a guest down the line, man, we gonna have fun. It's been a good time since I originally met you for the first time, and then from there it's been big support. So I appreciate that greatly. Nerding Out with Chelsea is another one. Fantastic Frankie is doing a fantastic job with this month, just keeping us hitting with more black comic content all around. Yep. Big respect. Needle Cafe is always in Chicago, created by Miss Taylor Tillman. Big respect. The Weeb and the Witch, Savage Squad in general, and special supporter shout outs to Chef Q. We gotta find out about this Raising Cane's coming to Times Square. That's big news for anybody who's ever been to the South and see that shit coming to New York.
Chef Q in the case.
Yup. Will Janae, as always, big respect. Happy birthday shout outs to Kareem, boy.
Yes,
big
happy
supporter,
birthday.
Big supporter, big love. Let's go,
yeah.
man. We all about
to the broski, yes.
We about to turn out with him soon. Spirit, Josh, and another happy birthday shout out to Ryan Lord 69, man. You out here with all the talent, all the skills. Group chats blowing up every single day with some other shit that we always laughing about. It's always much love, brother. With that, big respect.
Yeah, happy Thursday birthday today.
Yep. Definitely. Y'all trying to box out that bad weather and that funky ass Thursday feel. Big shout outs to Katie as well. Nate always supporting. Katie always supporting as well. Andre and the homie Linguistics out there hit me up with the good message about trying to get on the podcast and supporting all that stuff. And it appreciates when people come and message us after listening to the pod to be like, yo, we see y'all vibing, y'all flow and everything, and we trying to be a part of that. We trying to help, or we trying to put our 1-2s in. I mean, trust me, man, the guest list is always building and it's always there. So trust me, we'll let y'all know when we ready for all that, and y'all definitely come on, y'all come talk to us. But we appreciate everybody that be feeling our flow.
Yes, we do. Everyone.
Yep.
Always rocking with us. The day ones, the new ones. Welcome everybody and thank you.
Facts. Do you have any specific on your list, or you just everybody?
It's always everybody, man.
Yep. Big respect on that. So switching gears off of shout out section. This week's off the cuff, I've let it slide over to my co-host. So what is the off the cuff, if you got any on your mind, co-host?
Alright, so the first one is going to be simple. What are some memories you have growing up black in New York?
Shoot, memories growing up black in New York. The first one that hit me in my mind is that you remember the legendary 2000s blackout? That summer blackout that happened?
Yes!
That iconic ass, random, big ass blackout that knocked out majority of New York, and just being the hood booger children we all were during that freaking that blackout taking over all of the hood at that point.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that was just randomly the first thing that just hit my mind, just because it was such a news article and everything that was blowing up in the Bronx that we was just turning up just out of craziness.
Yeah, I remember that hot ass night. Whew.
Oh, it was crazy.
Man. Yeah.
So that's definitely one.
Yeah, memories I have, man, playing Skelly in the street.
Yep.
Grabbing a random crate, hooking it up to a tree, playing ball.
Going to the park with Super Soakers 2000s and blasting the friends during the summertime. Yes. Playing tag on your block with all the homies. I'm playing outside.
Son, the fire hydrants in the cellar.
Fire hydrants busting open. Yo, son, I'm happy that tradition is still kept for these kids that I be seeing all around. They be popping them fire hydrants open, even though some places be hating. But nah, bro, let them loose.
Chilling on the stoop till you got that yell.
Facts. Don't let the lights come on, boy.
Oh, no, listen. Let me not be around the corner when the lights come on.
Having your friends mob to your house to ask your parent if you can come outside.
Yeah, son. Whew.
Shit.
Oh, good times, man.
Good times for sure.
Definitely.
Big shout out.
So that definitely that was the big one I had.
Mm-hmm. Do you have another one on the docket, or that one was it?
I think that one was it. I have something stirring. I'm trying to see if I want to bring it out now.
I mean, if you want to hold it, we always got to think of more off the cuff for next week, if anything.
Yeah, I'll hold it for another time.
All right, copy. So we'll put that on the docket for next time and switch it over to our small subsection discussion. So Reboot news, we back on it with Reboot news. So Reboot news once again is hitting as we got a sequel for Megamind dropping at some point. They made the announcement on that. An animated project for Blade Runner, keep going. Funny enough, after this discussion, and we just got a message about this just in general, but it's gonna keep coming up because it's part of Reboot news anyway. But so the actress who's playing Bubbles in the Powerpuff Girls reboot, Dove, said it is teetering. So we are in the 50-50 level on whether this shit is going forward or not due to the episode 1 pilot fixing itself up again. Sorry, Jack, but this is part of the news. And since we made it a big thing at this point, so it is on 50-50%. And my co-host is manifesting that it falls down into a fiery grave. So we'll continue to see this as it unfolds.
And I told Jack this too. See, I said all Black History Month, I have not been manifesting. I was like, see, if I stop manifesting and then something go left, this one is for you, Jack. This is your fault.
Yeah, not Jack is in our rolling 3 of this. So, yo, Jack, sorry to tell you this, but I feel like at this point, since we talk about it so much, if it does happen and there's a rent, your ass is getting on this. This will be one of your guest episodes. At this point, I want to see everything burn now. I'm just gonna sit back and just listen to y'all just fire on this. I'm just gonna be the mastermind in the back with the glasses, like one of the anime. I'm just gonna adjust it. Haha, my plan. Like
speaking of reboot, since like I said, I've pushed my manifestation to the side for now because I need Netflix, I need Hulu, I need Paramount Plus, I need somebody to pick up this Warriors reboot prequel that they're trying to do. Bro, somebody need to pick this up.
Bro, talk about perfection, because that was the next part on my list. I was going to talk about that too, but yeah, shout outs. Go ahead, talk.
Except for CW. You guys stay far away from this. Stay far away.
If CW grab up on that Warriors reboot, you ain't going to see nothing of what you saw on YouTube.
Yeah, no, keep them far away from this.
Nah. But
go focus on the Arrowverse.
Everybody, oh, please. Just, how about you let go of the Arrowverse? I like, we watching some good Peacemaker content, and y'all need to let it go. Y'all need to let DC survive somewhere else.
Anybody other than CW, I need y'all to look into this. I need y'all to pick this up, and I need y'all to make this a thing.
Big facts. It's literally like living content there, and it keeps blowing up on YouTube. So like, guys, do something here. Y'all giving everything else a triple look, and I'm surprised y'all ain't double look at this.
Right?
Weird.
For real.
It's very weird, especially with the other announcements. We got a Dora live action series going forward on Paramount. Paramount was releasing bad news and shit like that. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Seth Rogen edition had their first posters and pictures of what the Turtles gonna look like. So that's dropping in movie form next year. If anybody saw who's a fan of Stranger Things, they saw that there was an announcement that season 4 is coming out sometime this year, divided into 2 volumes, and the season 5 is the finale with a movie and everything. Like that shit's going off. And also the one of the biggest news of the week when it comes to reboots is the Chip and Dale's movie / trailer that dropped. That, y'all, talk about a flex. They took what Roger Rabbit was doing back in the day, and they flexed through all of the generations of everything that's ever had animation. They've made fun on every level of animation, and threw Roger Rabbit in there just for a flex. So, I don't know. The trailer looked interesting to me. What you thought about it?
Oh, I love the trailer. I'm definitely with it. I like the mixture of the OG cartoon and the CGI. For this, it works.
And they're tackling the mere funks of reboots just right off the bat. Like, this whole story is revolving around the concept of reboots just itself. So sometimes it can fall off a cliff with that kind of concept. But I think what they're trying to angle at and label at, it could be great. And I do like the 2 comedians who are the voices behind with John Mulaney and I forgot from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. How am I pulling up a blank right now? Give me a second.
Okay, yeah, because we here for the Chip and Dale.
Yup. Rescue Rangers.
Yeah,
Andy Samberg.
The song is in my head now.
See. I mean, they were playing it during the trailer.
It's in my head now. I'm literally trying not to hum it.
See, so big respects to that, and all they pushing forward, and that's coming out this year too, so that's good. So that's everything on reboot news. You seen anything extra in the zeitgeist, or that's kind of it?
I saw the Musk is trying to funk with mind control. I'm like,
what? Well, that's over at Stock News. But what's he fucking with mind control? What is he trying to help the coins? Is he trying to help the Shiba and the Doge? Because I really would like help on that.
I'll say that for Stock News. But yeah, I had come across an article where I guess one of the companies he owns has some kind of brain interface that they're trying to start trials on.
Heard the Sword Art Online.
Yeah, he got some kind of brain link, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh no,
Funk.
We have enough information. He watches anime, bro. Like, listen, bro. Step back, step back. Anybody who know what's coming next is step back, bro. Before you turn this into some shit.
Yeah. So the company is called Neuralink.
My guy, that is exactly Sword Art Online. He thought he was slick. I heard that trying to get your brain stuck in that shit. You can't. You got to beat the game to get out. I heard you.
And last I heard, I think they're facing animal abuse claims. So yeah,
what? All right, that
listen.
That in metaverse, bro. We see y'all niggas. Y'all trying to get us stuck.
So the Musk is out here funking with some weird stuff, and I'm not with it.
Musk is on a roll. Musk is on a roll. Ow! Musk is on a roll. Ow! Somebody call your broker. Ah! Sheesh, man. This nigga trying to take all y'all money during tax season. It is not a fun time. All right, so that was a wild part. Good thing you had something, because I had nothing on stock news. Stock news hurt me. The only stock news I officially saw was that shit in our email talking about it. Go ahead, file them taxes, bro.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, Dogecoin ain't doing too good.
Nope.
Like Shiba took them over. Shiba took them over as the primary altcoin. And
oh, definitely, I see that.
Yeah, my shit. Like I said, it's almost back to when the price of what I brought it for. I was like, oh
shit,
boy.
It's stressful times. Stressful times and trying to make some money. My only curious thing is, I wonder how the DraftKings debacle came out after the Super Bowl. I haven't heard anybody was like super angry, so hopefully niggas wasn't losing their whole life savings over that.
Yeah.
So, So
I hope not. Well, I guess we'll find out sooner than later.
Yeah, I haven't heard burns at the Capitals with all that DraftKings and sports betting and shit like that. So hopefully y'all ain't lose y'all minds. All right, so shifting over, it's time for the main event. The main event segment, third segment. We gonna get extra black on this one. This one was a fun time this week. So we back at the comfy couch with something fresh for y'all. Fresh in the air. Fresh in the Bel-Air. We about to do an episode 1 retrospective of the first episodes of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air versus the new show that just hit this Sunday during the Super Bowl, after the Super Bowl, whenever you wanted to watch it. Bel-Air, the talk of the town, the reboot on the reboot, 2022's Bel-Air. So, we're gonna get on this right now. So, I'm gonna do something a little different with the Spacey, with the Fast Facts history news. So, I'm gonna start off, since we're gonna tackle Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at different times. I'm gonna give you the Fast Facts for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air first, and then we're gonna do the episode 1, and then we're gonna do all that part, and then we're gonna hop back into Bel-Air. I'll give you the Fast Facts on that. So, my first history, backing on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the original, streaming currently on HBO Max. It's an American TV sitcom comedy, loosely been told on Benny Medina's life, NBC owned, from September 1990 to May of 1996, with 148 episodes, 6 seasons. Will Smith's career starting vehicle into acting, mixing up his rap, acting, all kinds of popularity booming at this time, with the composer of Quincy Jones. Basically the concept: street smart teenager gets into trouble in his neighborhood and gets sent off to live with his rich relatives for safety, but sends his flavor up there with him as well. All right, you got any history fast facts on us too about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Nah, that you covered it.
All right, so you want to step up into the first episode, 1990s episode 1 pilot?
Sure, absolutely. So the episode starts, of course, with the intro.
And the full intro to give you
yeah.
give you that good story, the iconic theme, obviously everybody knows.
And we got a nice synopsis here.
Yep.
All the good stuff.
Yep, tells the story of beef with the gang, playing basketball, just messing with them. Mama sent them off for safety. OD on the plane, enjoying his time, sipping on the champagne glass, hitting the spot, getting that taxi ride. And then literally it phases right in from the intro straight into the show as he literally is left at the doorstep.
Yep, so at that point, we get our first intro to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey's just going around the house, and we can hear Will beatboxing on the front door.
He beatboxes back to life, back to reality.
And so eventually, Jeffrey's doing whatever his household duties he doing. He's adjusting the pictures and just. So he finally answers the door.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin was like, Uncle Phil!
Yeah, he thought it was Uncle Phil, which already proved off the back. He ain't seen Uncle Phil in a long while.
And he hugs Jeffrey, and then so Jeffrey tells him he's not Uncle Phil. And then Will was like, my bad, I must be in the wrong place. And he looked around at Jeffrey, he's like, I didn't think it was this many brothers in this neighborhood. I'll be doing all right. I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm with this.
Oh yeah, float straight in.
So at that point, Jeffrey tells him like, nah, you're in the right place. And he's like, look, I'm Jeffrey, I'm the butler. And then here come Will in this trash British accent.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Jeffrey ain't with none of this. He's like, come on, Master William, let's go.
Say, Master.
and Will is like, nah, you can just call me Will. And Jeffrey's like, nah, you Master William and I'm Jeffrey. This is how this works.
Shit, he said, well, if you gonna call me, like, let's cut all the Master Will shit out. Like if you gonna call me something, call me your Royal Freshness.
And Jeffrey dubs that immediately. He was like,
big time.
He's like, nah, we ain't with that. We ain't doing that.
Nope.
So next we see Aunt Viv and the real Uncle Phil.
Yup.
So Aunt Viv is happy to see Will. She's like, oh, let me look at you. Turn around. She's like, oh, you was this little when I last saw you. Now you are grown. And Uncle Phil was like, yeah, he has grown. And man, listen, here comes
Will with the quickness.
Tapping Uncle Phil's stomach. Yeah, we all grown some. I'm like, son.
He tapped the belly, boop, boop.
Son, we ain't even. And
he ain't even sat down yet.
Going in. I'm like, yo, Uncle Phil had a look on his face like, this motherfucker.
Y'all, and then on that same energy, so Aunt Viv asked him how his flight was, and then he was like, yo, the flight was stupid, the flight was dope, and Uncle Phil was like, wait, what? Excuse me? Come again? He said, nah, the flight was stupid, the flight was dope. What? Say that again?
And he looked at him and was like, okay, no, the flight was swell. And so Aunt Viv asks Jeffrey to take Will to his room, and so after Will leaves, Uncle Phil is like, you see how he's dressed, and you've heard that language? Mm-hmm. And Viv is like, listen, we used to use slang when we were younger too. And she's like, you remember on our first date, you said my dress was bad? She's like, you could have said my dress was good. And then here come Phil talking about, I would have liked it. It was a bad dress. So we're not even 5 minutes in, and Uncle Phil's in the doghouse.
Everybody. I mean, he put his foot in his mouth with that one, so that's on him. And this is when we definitely learned that Will is Aunt Viv's nephew, so she's on her. He's on her side of the family.
Oh, definitely, because she said that's stupid, and you could take that however you like it. I was like, yo.
The clap back was real.
So you're gonna be on the couch tonight, Uncle Phil. Sorry.
Oh, big fact. Hey, that's all of you. You didn't have to say what you said.
Yeah, you messed that up, buddy.
Yup.
So the next thing is we didn't meet Ashley.
Yep.
And her will have a little banter. So Marvin said she's gonna go take a swim in the pool before dinner. And Ashley tells her that the heat is broken. And Will is just going along with this. It's like, yeah, I hate that. It's a pet peeve.
Yo, that's such a problem.
Yep. And Will was like, y'all got a pool? She's like, yeah, we got a tennis court too. Will's like, oh shit, it's about to be
said I'm gonna like it here. Shit.
And Uncle Phil was like, nah, son, your mom sent you here to work hard, straighten out, and learn some values.
Make sure he learned it.
And as soon as he says that, here comes Hillary.
Uh-oh.
Talking about, Daddy, I need $300.
Yep, for some celebrity. She needed for a new hat, but it's all a part of some celebrity bull.
So they had some banter. She's like, Uncle Phil's like, for what? And she's like, a new hat. And Uncle Phil's like, for what? And here comes Will talking about, probably for her head. Yo, the way Uncle Phil looked at him, he's like,
the quickness.
I'm gonna retire you. I'm Z level tired of you.
Oh, facts. This is Master Vile pulling up to the spot, and he's like, "Nah, I've been here. What the is this?"
So Hillary's talking about how she's gonna go on a bus trip with some people she name dropped, and how they're gonna protest pollution, and then they're gonna go do a bonfire. And Will raises his hands like, don't you think that's actually adding to it?
Yup.
Oh, man.
Such a mess.
And Hillary looked at him like,
shut up. You're ruining my plans.
Her explanation took me out. She name dropped again. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
You're just... Hillary is something else.
Mm-hmm.
And Will's like, I shouldn't have said nothing at all because it's made my head hurt.
Right. So we shift off into that, and then we got Will popping in his room to back to life, back to reality again, and then he's setting up the Malcolm X posters while he popping it.
Right. That is wild. Right. Like I say, at this point, Will is just vibing out, chilling. And I'm like, okay, so me at this point, I'm just observing the room and just what he got around. I'm like, this is definitely 90s stuff. Like, man.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so I was bugging out. I had to pull up my notes again. Yeah, so Will was bopping in his room, doing his thing, and then here comes Jeffrey. Jeffrey walked in. He's watching Will. At this point, Will is like, yo, look who's here. It's Benson. I'm like,
yeah, coming in with the Benson jokes. I was like,
He's like, this is for you, son. I'm over you. He's like, but I didn't get you anything. He's like, listen, the fat man, Uncle Phil, head dude in charge, like, listen, he had a little dinner, so he invited the big people. And he's like, listen, you can't be out here like this, light bright. So yeah, come grab this, spiffy yourself up a little bit. And then, right, and then here come Ashley with a full courtesy. So Jeffrey leaves. Will is like that's all I had to do to get rid of him was do a courtesy.
Like, I would have gotten rid of him man long ago.
And so Ashley gives Will a little painting she did. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Mm-hmm. And then so Ashley will now just have a little talk about how she tried out for chorus, and she didn't make it.
Nope, she tried out, but it ain't work out.
Yeah, they just had a little heart to heart. Let's go talk.
Yeah, Will, cuzzo.
Yeah, it is. Like, I like the scene. It was like nice little bonding between them two. And yeah, I was like, yeah, I see Will's gonna be an influence on her, right for the jump.
All big facts.
And then we meet Carlton. Uncle Phil brings him in.
Yup.
The not ops.
and instantly the short jokes hit.
Oh man. And the way Carlton with the cardigan sweater, I'm like, oh my goodness.
They just right off the bat shows the difference, and then they start discussing the ideas of the Malcolm X and just the Malcolm X philosophy. And he's like, they go back and forth. Carlton's like, I'm not really a Malcolm X kind of guy. He feeling more of the Bryant Gumbel.
Oh my goodness. But you know what? Well, we're going to get to that later, but I appreciate this Carlton. Because wait till we get to this other side. Wait till we get on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
And Uncle Phil, he just shining there, beaming all proud. He's like, yeah, I want you to be like him, Will. Will like, he's like, I'll jump in the pool before I'll be like him.
Yeah.
So, Carlton and Will just having their little banter back and forth. And then, when Will looks in the mirror, because Carlton said, yeah, this going to be useful. He looked in the mirror, saw himself with the cardigan. He was like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, even before that, he was talking about how they might be mistaken for brothers. And he was like, nah, bro, nobody going to mistake you as for a brother.
I still crack it up because when he walks over to the mirror, it just bam. And he looked down. He was like, "Oh man, no." He's like, "Nah, this ain't it. This ain't it." So we see Uncle Viv, goodness, Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil. They're at their dinner party
talking to the guests.
Yeah, talking to the guests. They're talking about somebody they invited, and I'm like, at this point, writing it down. I was like, oh, and then Uncle Phil doesn't seem to be happy that Viv invited a certain person, because he'll bring her. We don't know who her is at this point. Right, so we see Hillary talking about some global warming stuff, and she was doing the most.
Wait. Time out. Are you specifically trying to avoid saying who the person is that they brought up? Because I heard the name and I was like, this is specifically 1990s, and I guess it's slipping people's mind. Why? But
no, go ahead and say name. I was going to let you chime in with it.
Oh, okay, because that was Ronald Reagan, and that pissed me the hell off. I was like, they expected fucking Reagan. And I was like, oh, the devil?
Yeah,
I literally say it in my notes. I'm like, oh, nah, fuck out of here.
Yeah,
they said Reagan, and I was like, oh, so y'all probably a little Republic. Okay,
yeah, okay. I was gonna leave that one. I was gonna leave that one to you because I knew you was gonna bring it up.
Okay, yeah, because I specifically highlighted that in my notes.
When I heard
Reagan, I was like, oh, now y'all are wilding. But it's 1990, And I guess we gonna let it rock because we don't know he the devil. So I heard that.
Yeah, I was skirting around and just waiting for you to chime in with it because I was like, you not gonna say nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. And then we see Will.
Oh, before that, I cut you off when you was talking about Hillary. She was finessing that white woman about global warming.
Yeah, that's what she was doing.
Yeah, she literally was talking all that hoo-hoo jargon, all that bullshit, and then she was like, "How can I donate?" She was like, "I don't know." That shit took me out. I was like, "Come on, so you can't finesse and not finish the last part to get the money."
She didn't think that through.
Damn, son, damn.
She just wanted the money. She ain't about the cause.
They get the money.
She ain't about the cause. I'm like, yeah. Where can I send a donation? Like, I don't handle that part. I just talk about it, and then we see Will Jordans and out.
Whatever the hell he did with that blazer and that shirt combo.
Yo, and I'm like, Will, that cover you got is supposed to go on your waist, not all the way, not as a bra, bro. I'm like,
that ass.
I'm like, son, with the hat and the bow tie.
My son looked like he was half a stripper.
Uncle Phil, when he saw, he was like, man, you know what? Like, Viv, this your family. You deal with this. And Uncle Phil, he wanted to strangle him.
Oh, big time. He saw that and his face shot up.
Right, and you got Phil's partners. They probably like, what the fuck? And I'm just the interaction that happens here that's cracking up. Viv had Will try some hors d'oeuvres. He threw it up in the air and ate it. I'm like,
oh yeah, he didn't give a fuck. He legit did not give a fuck. All the rules he's just breaking on the instant.
Oh yeah, he just
Phil's catching a mean heart attack.
Yo, Phil is like, he is breaking every rule of etiquette. He's like, yo, what's going on? He's like, why did I agree to this?
Yep. He tries to introduce Will to the partners. He made the Earth, Wind, and Fire joke. They talking about him going to Bel-Air Academy and shit.
And then he over here making the music on the glasses.
Yo.
Hillary just looking like, yeah.
Yeah, the jokes going on galore about stealing, talent, music, X, Y, and Z. And then and like you said, he making the beats on the glass. And then after that, he asked for if anybody got any requests.
Yeah. So Ashley says grace and it's
yo, that shit, yo, I always loved that shit. That damn rap grace that she did. And the moment she started rapping, Will looked around like, oh shit.
And the way Uncle Phil just wanted, he was like,
Will at that moment knew that he was hanging on by a noose, and at that moment he heard Ashley start spitting that, he was like, oh fuck. He said, I definitely did that.
Uncle Phil dead looked his way and was like, I know you did this. He's like, you corrupted my baby.
Facts, you been here for how long? You already corrupted my children? Damn, son.
Yo, just the expression they had, the way Carlson's expression was too, I'm like,
everybody at that table was like, oh nah, this shit just went left.
And Will's like, oh, took off his jacket. He's like,
I'm getting sent back tonight. Shit. So after this debacle goes down, we shift right into Will playing Nobody Knows the Trouble I See on the piano.
Yeah, so just him talking to Jeffrey. He's like, hey, Jeffrey, it's nice to see you.
Yo, and Will tries to ask for some cocoa, but Jeffrey like, I'm off the clock at 9, and it is 9:05. Bye.
That's some work.
Oh, that's me. That's big mood. Once it hit 4:30, I'm out the door. Don't ask me for shit. Clock.
Yeah, he's like, listen, I'm going to watch Masterpiece Theater.
Yup.
I'm going to chill.
Retire in my room. But that shit's situated.
Yeah, and then here comes Uncle Phil.
Yup. Oh, he want to talk to Will. He talking to Will about his actions. He irritated him for stuff, and just this is actually the drama-filled time of the night because Phil and Will was talking about they was chatting on life philosophies. And just Will explaining how he is and just how he relates to the jokes and everything. And Phil was talking about his life growing up and how he's seen, all the things go down between like racism and just trying to go through the justice system and just a whole bunch of stuff. This was kind of the performance night of the whole episode when the drama kind of fell in when they were both competing ideologies on life.
Yeah, man, they were definitely having a deep level discussion.
Yep, life experience of racism, street life, history, growing up, all that, and etc.
Yeah, and they just talking their different perspectives at this point.
Yep, yep.
Well, it's like, listen, I ain't trying to be no Carlton. I'm never gonna be no Carlton. That's not how I roll.
Nah.
Phil's like, listen, I'm not watching to be a Carlton. Low key, I don't want to be Carlton.
Low key.
Like low key, right? He's like, low key, I don't want Carlton to be Carlton. But listen, I'm working with what I got.
he mine.
Right? And Will's like, yo, you forgot where you came from. And Will was like, oh, now what you not going to do?
Shit. The clapback came with the quickest.
Right? He's like, listen, I ain't forget none of that.
Not at all.
He's like, listen, you got it good to what I grew up with. Listen.
Yup. He said, you follow Malcolm X? I heard the brother speak. Shit.
He's like, I ain't forget.
Shit. But they go on with the discussion in full, and then just right after that, Phil sees Will play the piano in a kind of way that, like, he's like, I didn't realize you got talent. Like, in that moment, after that discussion, the switch kind of went off, seeing Will's, untapped kind of potential type of thing. And that's kind of the end of the discussion as he walks away.
Yeah, he was like, okay, you know what?
Yep. So, moving
Potential.
forward. Yeah, definitely. So, moving forward into the next scene, we see Ashley dancing with the headphones in. She rocking out to the Walkman and don't realize Will pulled up on her, is copying her.
Yeah, that scene was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Just the synchronization of that shit was on point as Will just went straight into that shit. And then Ashley turned around and seen Will dancing, and she was like, "Oh wow, Will, I'm trying to learn how to dance."
Right? He looked at Will. He's like, "Not in here. Even I lose with him in here." I was like,
"Wow." He looked around. He like, "Yeah, it was a big variation of pink all around in that damn room."
Oh yeah.
So he was like, "Yeah, I did help you learn how to dance, but I seem to be missing a Walkman." She got his Walkman. Talk about the 90s. Throwback. She and then she was talking about how her dad puts out a rule that she can only listen to stuff that he approves on, and she was like, he really, really likes the Care Bears.
Right? And Will goes into the whole spiel like, yeah, your dad will do things that you think you don't understand.
Yeah. This is the only time that Will actually puts up and kind of defends his Uncle Thoughts for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Ashley thanks him for being here because he's the big brother she never had. And he was like, wait, you have
It's like, oh, I see your point.
Never mind. And so he's looking for the bathroom. He asks how many bathrooms they got. And then they step to the first bathroom and knock on it. And that's when we hear Carlton with the pipes singing in the shower like it's no fucking tomorrow.
Right? He's like, yeah.
He knocked on that door. He was like,
nope.
Nope.
Door number 2, please.
Yep, and they went to door number 2, and they knocked on the door, and Hillary's like, okay, I'm working on my makeup right now. I'm taking it off and stuff like that, and so they play a little joke on her. They walk away from the door, and then they let Hillary walk out full of the stuff on her face. And then when she come out, they was like, "Oh shit, we got you."
That's the episode ends with Hillary looking like a monster with the whole mask on. I'm like, yeah.
Facts. And then the instrumental version of the intro plays.
Yeah, man, that's how that episode ends.
Yep. So, final impression on this first episode. I said a classic and a time capsule of things going on. Jokes hit, but time changes the vibe of some jokes, but they still hit the laugh factor. The serious tone comes out whether under or overt. They show themselves in conversation, but the real energy between the philosophies of life between Will and Phil really play themselves well to the realness of the show.
Yeah, man, I like this episode. It was a good introduction to the show. Everybody got a little shine here.
Yep.
We see the dynamic of Phil and Will building up.
And Will had jokes for days on every one of them except for Auntie Viv.
Yeah, he didn't want that smoke.
Nope.
He saw what happened.
That's his blood.
Yeah.
He know what happened.
He saw what happened to Uncle Phil. He didn't want no problems.
He don't want to be stuck in the dog house with Phil.
He didn't want no problem. He's like, listen, he's like, I don't want no
smoke.
I won't be where you at, buddy.
Nah, not at all. So that's the goings on with that.
Yeah, he's like, no, I don't want it. I don't want it at all. He's like, nah, you can keep that. Yep. I don't want it. I don't need it. Please leave me out of it.
Facts.
Okay.
So that's the full final impression on you?
Yeah.
All right. So, switching up to the new. Now, here's the fast facts on Bel-Air. All right, so Bel-Air currently streaming on Peacock. It's a reboot of an American sitcom series. This is a drama. Keep that in mind, y'all. Worked on by Will and Morgan Cooper. Morgan Cooper made YouTube sensation famous when he put out his dramatic reboot thought on the process on this over YouTube, and then Will saw it and he was like, I'm gonna work with you, and that's how this shit got greenlighted. So he worked on that YouTube film project. I'm pretty sure it's still out on YouTube to see like honestly that was kind of like the origin pilots, everything kind of changed off from there, but I mean he's got heart. He put it straight into this. So this aired on last Sunday, February 13, 2022, and it's set for 2 seasons already. So it's already
really
reared up. Yeah, it's reared up for 2 seasons before it even premiered.
Wow, they say that for 2 seasons already?
Yep. Before anything dropped, they all said that it's set up for 2 seasons already and could get more if things start to still look up. So the series follows Will journey through the complicated streets of West Philly to the gated mansions of Bel-Air. So let's get into the first episode called Dreams and Nightmares.
Oh, it was called Dreams and Nightmares? Okay.
Yep. Episode 1's called Dreams and Nightmares.
Okay.
So now this, y'all, right off the bat, so Will's in a dream with him being on the throne with all the lights come up, and he's in his throne. He got the crown on, and they literally start off the show in hot fashion. J. Cole's No Role Models, first things first, and then he wakes up right before it says rest in peace Uncle Phil, which I mean double meaning on that, but damn son. That's respect.
Good job.
Yeah, good job. That feels strongly written right off the bat. So alright, so Will wakes and gets dressed. His mom's making him food. Will listens to all kinds of the new raps going on. Gets ready for ball recruits. His mother's talking that big talk on him. He about to be able to go on the court. He diced it up and everything. His mom hyping him up, talk about he a king. He just gotta be ready for the crown whenever the crown ready for him, and he just ready to do this shit. So he take the garbage out because it's still black mama. You got to make sure you take the garbage out, even if you think you about to be the best of the best of all time. So Will takes out the trash, and then in the middle time, he take out the trash. Out of nowhere, his man's, we find out his name is Trey, dunk on him while he putting out the garbage, and he was like, Trey just dunked on Will Smith's ass. And Will playing around with his friend, and they go back and forth, and then the classic black faction, as they messing around, old lady in the back, just on her rocking chair says, "Yo, cut all that foolishness out. You messing with my old black ass."
This is what this is going back to what we talked about earlier. Memories of growing up by black.
This is the vibes. This is the big vibe.
Speaking of that, I just want to touch on Will's mom for a second, because they captured her good casting, because they captured her. She felt like his mom from the original.
Yes,
I
she kind of looked like it too.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a family member or something, but yeah.
I don't know, but the vibe was definitely the same. I was like, okay,
definitely. But it's also this is our mama's love. This is a single mother showing it all out for her son. She making sure that boy was loved and knew he was loved.
Yeah, man. So I love this whole scene going. I like brought back good memories. Memories.
Yeah, talk about just showing off. Yo, shout outs to them directing the first part in West Philly, because man, they captured the heart of the natural West Philly right out there, from the communities to the happenings that's going on to going even further. So after we meet up with Trey and they get into them shenanigans and the old lady yelling at them, we go switch off to Will in school, and just as a star athlete, even though he like drawing crowns on his book and everything, Will is doing great in school. He killing it. He just got a test back, 97%, and then we switch over to Will balling up like a monster. He playing ball on his team, but he doing it good. If there was scouts out there, they was watching him at his prime, because he was monstering. He was dunking. He was disrespecting the other team.
Yeah. Before that, even when he was in class, Trey no slouch himself. I'm like, okay. I'm liking this.
Shit. See, I mean, that's what it proves, that when you're around people of success, you want to be just like them of success, and it's the energy that flows. If you successful, your people successful. That's your circle.
Yeah, like you said, back in the game, they was washing down the team.
Oh boy, Will was disrespectful. The way he was bodying these niggas, and there was recruits out there. The recruits was like, "Oh Jesus!"
And mom was just hyping him up. Yeah,
of course, you gotta love his mother, man. That's exactly the energy.
And that buzzer beater. Oh,
this nigga was in his element. He bodied these niggas. Sheesh.
Yeah,
and then after they was bowling like a monster, I love the scene. They was in the back. They was in the back hyping on some Meek, some dreams and nightmares. Yo, they was in the back going off, hyping themselves up. All the hold up, wait a minute, you thought that we was finished? They was going in the back, and it transitioned perfectly because I mean Meek is one of the famous ones from Philly, so he had to be represented big time in this one. So instantly after that hype, I love this scene where they show off. This is natural to the hood, but it's a black dude that's always doing some wild kind of talent. So this dude popped the illest wheelie coming down on his, and then he started surfing on the motherfucker. This goes far and beyond. If anybody's in the hood, you know there's always the young individuals that be doing the wildest shit, and you feel like they about to get hurt at any moment by doing the wildest shit, but for some reason they've mastered gravity and they've been doing all kinds of wicked shit, and you're like, how? Yeah. It's either on a bike or an ATV.
Yeah, so I was watching that scene. I was like, I know somebody like that.
Facts.
I had a friend like that back in the day, and I was like, how?
Bro, listen, I was walking to my tax time, and I saw like a group of 5 people on ATVs wilding when it was about to rain. Like, bro, they don't care. They don't care.
I'm like, I wish I had that balance.
I always wish I had that kind of skill, because they just do not care, and nothing ever happens. You always on the fear that something about to happen. They always Gucci. If it ever happens, it happens when you're not aware. You're not near nothing.
Yeah, definitely. Because now I'm like, man, how you not push your ass? I was
That's
like,
what
damn
I'm
it.
saying.
And I'm just watching like,
you watch it with bated breath, just watching that shit like, oh, what the fuck?
Like, I'm okay with the wheelie. Oh, what you mean you gonna stand up? Oh, man.
Yo, he dead surfed on the fucking bike. I was like, all right, I'm already impressed. So going into that flowed completely into him and his mother walking down the block, and I love this scene because it shows how cool. When Will talked about he was the man in West Philly, he was the man in West Philly. He literally had his mother showing off his flow. Like, he was walking down the block, he was giving daps up to everybody. The girls was looking at him. He was the man.
Yep.
He was the man in West Philly, like he said. So prove it right there. So Will out there talking to his mom, and they talk about recruits and all this stage of the future. And she going back with the line talking about, you always got a crown, you just got to be ready to fit the crown. All respect to that line. His mother's about to go back on a shift, so it's a single mother working many shifts on a job. It's all black dudes with their moms trusting in them. Like, you understand how hard your mom be working to put you through everything. So she definitely off the shift on that. And then Will goes to meet up with his man's Trey on the block, and this has got to be classic Philly too, because they're not going to the famous Philly spot. This is a Philly off the corner spot where they getting cheesesteaks. They just chill, just like how we get a bacon egg and cheese. Just chilling off the corner. He went to Poppy, and he got the cheesesteak, and they chilling. They talking about the different shit that they have on the cheesesteak. His man's Trey was rocking with the mayo ketchup. They was chilling on. They was eating on the Philly cheese.
They was vibing.
And they was vibing. And then this hateful ass nigga done popped up talking about where's my Philly cheesesteak? All this other bullshit. And talk about all this hateful shit. And he was like, nah, bro, you make enough money. Go go ahead and buy your own Philly cheese. And he like, all right, so you're not the popular star. And he hating on Will Swagger. He hating on everything that Will is. He like, oh, you think you nice because you balling? And then Trey was, I love how Trey was hyping up his man. He's like, my man's about to be on D1 scholarships. And hating ass nigga talking about, they just giving scholarships out to anybody nowadays and all this other bullshit. He talking all types of spicy while Will capping back. Will talking about, all right, so I mean, you just mad because you trying to ball out, but I'll watch that ass out here. And he talk about, if I never got sent to juvie, then I would have dusted your goofy ass. And Will tried to come back at him, and then this nigga had this nigga a big puss. Cause he showed off the piece, and he was like, all right, you want to get dicey, you want to get clapped up, and then he was like, oh, he embarrassed him. He was like, remember your place, hey, remember where you at. Yeah. And he talked all that shit, and then he hopped on the ATV. He was like, yeah, right.
Bitch ass head down to hop on the ATV.
He hopped up on the ATV, talk about this is my city, bitch. I was like, this nigga big trash.
Big trash. I'm like,
big trash. So we shift off and we go into Trey and Will talking about getting pressed and actions and stuff like that. So Will about to take it down to the courts. And he about to get a rocket and shit like that. And Trey trying to talk him out of this, not to go down there to cause no situation. But Will talking about this about pride and respect. And he got a rep for Philly, and he can't look like no punk. So he about to go down there. But Trey like, all right, this shit might get a little dicey. So Trey pull out the piece on him. Like Trey got a piece on him too. So he just like, all right, we got this for cover just in case shit get crazy. And Will like, all right, that's kind of wild. You trying to catch a gun case, but I see where your mentals is, my guy, but like this shit kind of crazy, but we gonna go anyway.
Right, this is just in case shit go left.
I know, so they pull up, they pull up on nigga who pressed them earlier talk about all that ball and shit, and he with his man's part of the gang who's head up by some nigga named Rashad, who everything Rashad said sound like they definitely hired some nigga straight off Philly block, because half of the words he was saying I know just went in one ear and went out the other, because I was like, he sounds straight like mumbles.
Yo, they really did. That's a friend of Quest.
Yo, son, all just straight mumbles. Straight clean mumbles with the grills in, y'all.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
No, I was like, yeah, he definitely, he portrayed this perfectly. I was like,
clean with it, man. And they was like, put your money where your mouth is. They put money on the line for this shit. So they got the money straight balling. They get this shit popping. Now I'm watching. Now when I'm recording it and doing my notes and stuff like that, I'm sitting right beside Kenya. So like we both watching this, and at first I'm gonna say off the bat, this shit gave me like this chick gave me the football show that All American. So we was joking about that shit for a second, and we was like, they could get this crossover popping. We could get that All American Bel-Air shit. so that was just a side note. I put in there, and then right in the middle of that, niggas start to get the hooping. So they've got money on the line, and they tested Will on some street ball shit, going through some street ball rules. And niggas is hooping, but Will is a monster. He's unstoppable. They talk all this kind of shit, but Will dice it on them niggas, and he just whipping and balling on these niggas. So he dropped old Peace Boy, and boy, this shit pissed me the all hell off. So nigga loses the basketball battle, and he takes the ball, and he tries to he is so trash. His passing skills is extra trash, because he get the ball and he tries to throw it at Will, but he ends up hit his mans, and he realizes he hits his mans and he dips out. That is the biggest bitch move I have ever seen.
Well, we know from the jump that he was a whole bitch. Come on,
big time. But this was upper levels of bitch. He threw it and hit it at his mans. He knew this was gonna cause a situation, so he hit his mans. Rashad didn't see who threw the ball, so Rashad's like, Alright, so who threw that? And he thinking it's Trey. So he go and press up on Trey for no fucking reason. And then Will trying to come into the middle. He like, oh, it wasn't even Trey. Calm down. You just mad because your man's just got dusted out here. And Rashad was like, oh, word? Oh, you think it's like this? Oh, you think we big puss out here? So he pulled, he started wilding and pulled up on that on Will. And Will's hands was rated E for everybody. Cause Jesus Christ, Will threw the first punch at the nigga and the shit got crazy. What had me dying because Will threw the punch and he punched Rashad, who's the head of the gang. But then the rest of the niggas went to go jump Trey. So I
was like, wait, hold
up. Wouldn't you jump Will because he beat up Rashad? But they just started stomping out Trey. I was like, what kind of puss gang you got, bro? What is this? This is bullshit.
Yeah, I was like, hold up.
So we'll see what's going down, and then he see Trey in the midst of situation. So he goes and gets Trey gun and fire it up in the air. He busts a couple of shots, and okay, so I guess none of Rashad's men got either a piece on them or they got any balls because they heard a couple shots in the air and they all scattered like rats.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point he scared off everybody, and Rashad is coming through from the punch from Will because Will got hands. He balling and got hands. So Rashad coming through, and then he noticed Will pointing the gun straight at him. So the moment he pointed the gun at him, Rashad said, use it, because if you don't kill me, I'm gonna come at you with everything I got and I'm gonna shoot you down. Real talk. So in the midst of this, Will's having kind of like a stressful situation to figure out what to do. And in the mid, all you hear is whoop.
I was like, oh,
you already know what's coming down, and the cops is coming through. So the cops coming through, and the cops, these white cops coming through with the quickness. They was ready. They wanted to arrest a black man today. Cause when them cops came out, they came out at full force. Everybody started booking. Even I don't understand. Trey got jumped, but Trey was the first nigga gone. Bro, Trey was hauling ass, and they dead grabbed up Will. I was like, bro, son, out of all, you telling me you couldn't cross over these cops, my nigga? Will was not ready for nothing. So they caught Will, and then he dropped the gun. So they caught Will, and then they held up the gun. You was like, oh no, not Will, not like this, man. And they not only pressed Will, they pressed Will with the hardest. They pressed him, and they started like low key sitting on him, and you could have seen like Will kind of stress out that situation. I was like, oh, this could go many ways right now.
I don't like that whole situation. I was like, oh fuck, man.
Yeah.
I was like, Will, why you ain't run faster?
So they grabbed him up.
At least chuck the gun.
Facts, bro. So they grabbed Will up, and they grabbed Rashad up, and they grabbed the gun, and they put them both in lockup.
Yeah, the next scene we see Will inside the jail cell, and they're freezing and crying. And son, it's just not a good look.
No. He sleep. He type stressing, and it's the look of how you in a holding cell and the shit looking crazy. Like Will probably thinking about how he started out the morning, and how he thinking about at the end of the day he already he low key in jail, and he thinking he looking at his whole future going down, especially with a gun charge and everything. He talked about Trey about this earlier, and this shit crazy. And then if you look over, Rashad, which now I'm labeling, without his hat, I said that nigga look like Papoose. So I said not
oh no,
I said not Papoose in the back saying tick tock to the bullet to the dome. He pressing the guns to the dome because he definitely out here bugging. So he haunting Will. And then Will spent the night in jail because when you see him early in the morning, my son looked like he sleep. I said he's sleeping like a sloth. My son looked bugging out in the corner. He's sleeping like a sloth. And then the cops wake him up to let him out, and not Papoose wilding out here. Rashad losing his mind. He was like. This nigga wilding over there. He's like, nah, this nigga snitched. Fuck out of here. What you just tell them? Fuck out of here. There's no way you got released that quick. They was letting him out. He was shaking the cage and everything, and they was battering him back. Not Papoose was looking for his hat. He was like, give me my hat back. I look ugly with my son was wilding in there. He was wilding, so they was backing him off. He was like, "Whatever you do, I don't care. I know you snitched, and I'm gonna run for you. I'm gonna hunt you down. I don't give a fuck what you doing. I'm gonna make it my life's mission so I can end your ass, man." My son was talking all that shit, and then only to find out when Will got let out, he was out there in the car with his mom, and damn, can you not tell that his mom was hella disappointed? She was like, "Jail? A gun charge? Boy, I just left you for a shift and you got me stressed all on this."
Yo, she was probably like, "Yo, it's only been one shift. I told your ass to go home."
Damn, son. Not only did you disrespect me by not going home, but to even before all the gun charges and everything, you was out while the street lights was on.
She was like, "Son, you had one job."
Literally, boy. You was right on the come up, and what you done did. And yo, the next thing that she said was low key the wildest thing. While this nigga was in the car, this nigga said, "Mom, where we going?" And she was like, she said, "Your flight, we going to the airport. Your flight to LA leaves in 45. I was like, all right, stop for a second. Imagine the concept of this lady working a long shift, getting off the shift, going home to relax, only to hear that her baby, her star baby, who is good in school, who is on a college trip, was not only picked up by the cops on a gun charge that he had a gun in possession, messing with gangsters while the street lights was on. She had to figure all this. She packed this nigga's bags, talked to his relatives out in Bel-Air to fix up all this stuff so he could have a flight, get ready to take him over to Bel-Air in that 45 minutes to pick him up, his ass out of jail, get him out of jail, all to drop him off. All this in one night.
This had to all be Aunt Viv.
Oh yeah. This was a mixture of Aunt Viv and a distressed mother on the phone, because this is wild. Imagine, but she still had to finish working, come home, get a debriefing of all this, figure out what she was gonna do, call her sister, have help from her sister, and then still pack a bag and pick this nigga up in the morning. I know she didn't sleep. She did not sleep.
Oh,
she did not sleep at all.
Viv was like, "Listen, just pack the bag. I got everything else."
Her baby spent the whole night in jail. She had to wait till the morning. Bro, she packed the bag. Bro, I know she was stressed. She didn't even know what time she could officially get him. She just know 45 minutes. I had to get your ass to the nearest airport, and you gotta go. You got to go, baby. You gotta go, baby. And she was, I love the way how she was thinking, because she was the smartest mother ever. She was not trusting in the police. She was not trusting in witness protection or anything to get him, because she know Will was going to get charged with something because he had the gun too. So I don't even know if police could protect him on that shit. She said Rashad, aka not Papoose, got hitters. So she said, whatever you do while you are here, you will not be safe. So you have to leave. You have to leave. She knows you will be in the grave by tomorrow. So you have to go right now. And I was like, this is a mother far beyond. She understands what her area is, and she understands there's no protection. So you have to leave. Nobody knows. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know where you're at. You just off the grid. You're gone.
Well, I want to know how Uncle Phil got that gun charge to go away.
Well, we're gonna talk about that later, because he did bring that up. But yeah, so she saved them because she knew Rashad got hitters. And then right as she takes him to the airport, that's when the Bel-Air title pops up. That is 15 minutes in, and we saw all of West Philly and all that shit, and the Bel-Air shit pops up. I'm telling you, that's fire. I'm not gonna lie. Talk about, imagine that's such a perfect place to put it, because you're 15 minutes into the episode, making it feel like at any point in time you could give anybody a sample of this show, and that could be like the first 15. You could like put that shit on YouTube cleanly like that, and just, that's not even the show. Like the whole episode is about an hour, like literally an hour off rips with commercials and everything, is about an hour plus, and putting that right there is a perfect standpoint right there.
They're using that Spider-Man setup.
Yep, A1. So we got that set up. The title pop, the Bel-Air title pops up, and then when we open up, we in beautiful Bel-Air, baby.
Yeah, Bel-Air looking nice.
Yep. And then we got so he get picked up by a fancy taxi car because there's a taxi situation going on. He talk about, but Will makes the best of it. So he picked up by somebody at the airport. We find out that somebody is Jazz.
Yes, I was like, okay, this is our intro to Jazz. I'm like, all right.
Yup, it's pretty fire. Jazz Fresh is a motherfucking inside his car fire. So he takes a ride out with him, and then at one point before we reach to the gated community, so he stops. And he said he wants to see the sunset and the beautiful scenery of Cali just in general and LA. And he gets out, and this is the funny part that I put in my notes. I was like, who sees the sunset with a taxi driver though?
Listen, I was with the little talks they had.
Oh no, the talk that they had was important. I just thought the concept of the situation, like I was like, this ain't Uber. You taking a taxi, my nigga, and the meter's running. But if you want to see the scene, bro, I mean, I guess whoever you seeing got money like that, obviously. So
we can tell Jazz ain't no normal taxi person because otherwise he wouldn't have stopped.
Oh no, exactly. It's fire. But the conversation was mad important because Jazz was talking about how people work about 3 jobs to keep an apartment that they gotta keep with roommates and everything, just for a chance to be out here, just for the opportunity to see the beautiful like area they got. But Jazz was important to tell him that even though people out here change and lose themselves, he told Will not to lose himself in this situation, not to be caught up in this game of everybody changing for the betterment and shit.
Yeah, that's important. That's very important.
That's very important. I love that concept and stuff like that. We're gonna talk about it later, how the connections all connect up with the way how Jazz talking about that. But that shit was a beautiful conversation. They hop back in the whip and then they pull up to Bel-Air, and they was like, God damn, niggas. Jazz turned around. He was like, I didn't know your relatives white.
Yeah, that had me dying.
Yo, son, Jazz was like, oh, so like, here's my card, bro. If you need a specific taxi, nigga, I am your guy because I want to come over here more often, bro. Shit, man, nice. So he pull up in Bel-Air, and then we are introduced to Joffrey, who specifically says he is the house manager. Get that shit right. Joffrey is the house manager. Right? I heard that shit. I was like, oh, okay.
Jeffrey's like, I ain't no butler. I'm the house manager.
Manager, bro. I run this shit up in here. So we finally get the iconic notice of because everybody always memes this all the time. So we got the Bel-Air taking a taxi from LAX to Bel-Air. And he makes a joke. He was like, man, at first in the car, what he told Will was it was $150. But by the time we came out the car, he was like, all right, so luxury ride coming from LAX to Bel-Air. Man, let's call it $200. And yo, Joffrey, dad went to his back pocket. All he had was hundreds. He just took out 2 pieces and just gave it to him. He was like, oh shit, all right, nice. Like he said, Will, you got my car. You know what it is. I will be back. And then shit, we go off into the house. So after that situation, Jazz left. We with Will and Joffrey. They go into the house. Joffrey tried to take the bags, and Will, coming from a defensive neighborhood and a defensive nature, he just he flipped out straight off the bat. He was like, "Yo, chill out, Idris," and he was like, "Oh, haha." Idris, because he got that British accent. He was like, oh, like I ain't heard that before.
Yo, Jeffrey be killing me right now because I'm like, yo, he just trying to do his job. I was like, nah.
Facts,
son.
But I get it because Will's from Philly, where if somebody tries to grab at your bag, they trying to rob you. So I understand why his defensive nature would act up like that.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, this house is nice.
Oh, this house is fucking beautiful. This shit big. I mean, from when we got into the community, this area that they've reimagined as Bel-Air is friggin' huge, and it is so beautiful. So this is popping out here, and then right into we get our introduction into Aunt Viv. So Aunt Viv comes through, and in the midst of it, she says hi to Will and stuff like that. we got Will and Joffrey talking about legends. They talking about respect to who they see on the court. They talking about Allen Iverson, respect to that. But they also give a shout outs and R.I.P. to the respect to the Mamba, to Big Mamba out here, the Black Mamba. Shout outs to Kobe. So big respect on that. And if you look in the house. Yo, I love this part because Joffrey said he the house manager, but if you look real good, all the servants are white. I was like, yo.
Jeffrey know what's up. I was like, okay, Jeffrey, I see you.
The moment I'm looking around, I ain't see not one. I see niggas serving hors d'oeuvres and all of that skin is fair, and I was like, oh yes. Oh, this is setting up tight, nice, man. So Aunt Viv talking to Will, talking about she missed all that Philly swag, but what really resonated with me right off the rip was Aunt Viv said after she missed all the Philly swag and all the bravado that Will was putting on, she checked on Will. She literally stopped there and was like, all right, Will, are you okay? After all his experience, after going to jail, after fighting the gang people and stuff like that, she was like, you put on the bravado and shit like that, but we can get to the root right now. Are you okay? Because this is like, in the past, like, 48 hours, you've been through a whole life-changing moment, and now you're here. Mm-hmm. So we got to check on if you're actually okay for a minute. So that should quote me as a huge thing. She talks about Phil's party running for district attorney. So there's a big party going on and all this kind of situation. So Phil's out in the back schmoozing and stuff like that. So in the midst of all that, Will asks if he can see, family members and stuff like that and catch up with people. So Viv is like, all right, so I'm gonna introduce you to some of the family. So we get introduction to new Hillary, and right off the bat, Hillary was excited to see her cousin. She like Will. She's a social media influencer. Mm-hmm. She's a cook. She's smart. She with it with the culture. She's still a fashionista and all that shit like that. She's popping out here talking all that shit on the Instagram, and she on live and she's showing off everything, and she's shouting out Will on her Instagram. She got like 3,000 people watching her right now. Introduce herself to her, and mom trying to shut all that shit down. She like, yo, put away the Instagram live, keep off the social medias right now, and dress up your cousin so he looking mad nice and fancy and stuff like that. So she leaves that. So she leaves Will in the care of Hillary. Hillary takes her to the back. She's like, fuck what mom said. I'm still on the Instagram live shit. She shows him around. They go all the way back to the room because she gonna fit him out with some Carlton's fits. So she gonna have him suited and booted. Yeah, she gonna have him suited and booted, and they go in the back. Now the first thing I caught right off the rip when they was walking to the back, Will started urine, and I was like, all right. I know y'all from Philly, but y'all gonna have to cut that shit because that's New York slander. Don't disrespect us. I know y'all about a large bit of the culture, but y'all know New York stand tall with the yours. So I hold that back. That was the only thing that caught me. I was like, y'all got your own stuff. Keep it to your own stuff. So Will and Hillary
they tried it.
They tried it on that one. I had to stop. I was like, nah, no urine on my block. Fuck out of here. So Will and Hillary connect, and she styled that nigga. She knew what the fuck she was doing. She put a couple things together. She handed it off to Will. Will went to styling and all that shit, and Will got clean as a motherfucker. He put on that suit, and that boy was clean. She gave him the cufflinks and everything. My son knew how to come out, and he came out to Hillary right there, and she was like, Hillary Banks did it again. Shit. Period. I was like, all right, we going. All right,
so she was looking at that closet. She was like, nah, not this. What the fuck, Carly? Why you buy this?
Oh, she said, no. We too fancy for this shit. Cut that shit out. You doing that?
The way she got the clothes, she had me die. She's like, yeah, because Carlton bought some clothes thinking he was going to have a growth spurt. I was like, yo!
See, so, the flavor roast still in this. The flavor roast still in this. So, I mean, that's a good thing that he bought that shit because, I mean, you never know what Cuzzo about to stop by and Cuzzo bigger than your ass. So, so, all right. So, after Will get clean as fuck, they go into the backyard. backyard is fucking huge. There's mad people. To film this during the COVID era is ridiculous because holy shit, there's mad people out here.
Yeah, this a lot.
This backyard big as fuck. Everyone out here partying and schmingling and schmoozing. So Will recognizes his uncle right off the bat and go off run into him, talking all types of wildness. He went up to Uncle and he was like, "Yo, thank you, Uncle, for everything you did," and yada yada yada. And the moment he started to like make the conversation switch over to like talking about thanks for getting me off the charges. Yo, his uncle grabbed him up into some secret Godfather shit. He was like, "All right, yo, I'm happy you here, but we're gonna talk about this later." And tapped him on the back. And his courtroom friends started eyeballing the shit out of Will. Will was trying dapping him up and giving him hugs and shit like that and talking all that Philly slang and shit like that. And he walked away. And bro, when I tell you, they was eyeballing the shit out of him. His one guy that he was talking with, he looked at Will. He was like, "Oh, he probably got a good story," and started eyeballing him. I was like, "Oh no, that don't give me good vibes at all." Like he's like he got a hell of a story. He sounded like he about to find out. I was like, "Uh-oh." So Phil off the rip, he was like, he gave out that energy like, "Bro, you better not." This Phil, he put out the energy like, "Yo, you better not be fucking around, kid."
Yeah, I was like, "Shh, Will, don't tell nobody."
Facts. When you get a Godfather style hug and some niggas talking to you in your ear, that's big signs to shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
So he had Will go off to get himself something to eat. In the midst of that, linebacker ass Ashley tackles him, and we meet the Ashley here, and Will's like, "Oh, this is baby Ashley, and she's so big and stuff like that," and we introduced to the stylings of Ashley and Will all connecting up, and she shows Will to all the food around, and Will's seeing all these fancy dishes opening up and shit like that, but he ain't feeling all that. So he go to Poppy, and he was like, "Hey, Poppy, whip me up a Philly cheesesteak, Philly style. Make sure that shit extra Philly." My son had the fixings and the ingredients and everything. Had Poppy fix that up. And then in the midst of that, we got a girl pull up on him, and she's talking about, "Yo, the Poppy you talking about is a world famous chef that could fix you up anything you want." And Will with the quickness, he's like, "All right, he a world famous chef, but I don't know if he can whip it up a cheesesteak, Philly style. So he gotta prove to me that he'll worth the damn." So this is where we are introduced to Lisa. And Will and Lisa meet off the bat, and they sharing a little moment of banter and stuff like that, and they talking. And then in the midst of that, we also meet Carlton. Carlton pulls up with a certain amount of energy. He looks at Lisa, and I told this to Kenya. There was a vibe right off the bat before we knew anything about what's going on. He looked at Lisa. He was like, "Hi, Lisa," and Lisa looked around, and he looked around, and that shit felt so weird. I was like, something's up. So Lisa leaves Carlton to meet up with his cousin Will. And they talk, and right off the bat, he like, "So why you in my clothes?"
So
Will trying to be friendly around him. He put his arm around him, and the look this nigga gave on that arm, he looked at him like, "Nah, nigga, we ain't the same."
Yo, first thing, the casting for Lisa was spot on. I got the same vibe from the OG.
Oh, then it's not only spot on, but giving shout outs to more the big chicks, man. Yo, bro, big love.
I loved it. And yo, the ops, Carlton. We gonna get more than him, but yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
right from the rip, Yo, yeah, him and Lisa, she's cold as fuck. She's like, yeah, I don't even want to be next to you. I'm out.
Yeah, the moment he pulled up, the moment she said hi, Lisa, and she started looking around, and he started looking around. I was like, yo, this is too awkward. This energy vibing bad. I was like, and she got to get out of there.
Yo, and so I know Poppy killed that sandwich because Will was like, yo,
Poppy was like, oh, you gonna discredit me, world famous chef? You think I don't know hood style, nigga? Please.
He's like, I got you, bro.
This nigga took a bite at this shit. He's like, I ain't going back to Philly no more. These niggas brought Philly over here. Like, goddamn.
He's like, listen, I interned at the Ox Spot on 5th. What you mean?
Right. Nigga said, I was with the Poppy. Why you think I'm Poppy, my nigga? What? Don't disrespect my roots, bro. The Poppy never forgot who he came from. This nigga probably took a ride with Jazz talking about the same shit. He looked at Poppy. He was like, Poppy, I know you world famous chef out here, but don't forget what you came from. Don't forget what you can make. And he like, bro, I'm from the block, bro. I ain't forgetting nothing. I can make that shit. Shout outs to Poppy having all the ingredients on deck. That's how you know he was true Poppy. Because he whipped up that Philly cheese for him in like 5 minutes flat.
Yo, he was like, yeah, I got you, son. I knew.
He said, what? Philly cheese from Philly? Oh, I got you, bro. I'm worldwide.
He's like, it's been a minute. I've been waiting to flex. Hold up.
See, he said, what?
Tired of making all this bougie food.
He said, oh, y'all niggas want escort going all this bullshit. I am ready to flex. You said Philly cheese from Philly? I got you. But yeah, so Carlton's energy is big heavy.
Yep. First he's like, if you're gonna put on these $500 cufflinks, at least put them on right. I was
Facts. Like, he was already shunning him on some. Low-key, when your brothers do it to the side and help you fix your shit out, that's nice. But then when they add extra addeds to that, talking all that disrespectful shit, that's no longer when you become my brother's keeper, and that's when you just become straight out disrespect. So that's some fuckboy shit. So yeah. Carlton's already burning off on two edges with that shit.
Ops.
No, big ops. So the next scene, I like that we see the family all together without Will. We see Hillary, we see Ashley, and we see Carlton back in their family. So they have an inside arcade, which, shit. That shit fire. I like that they build the family energy without Will first. So there was like a time where all three of them is talking, and they talking about Will's connection to the family, and he's talking about he trying to hoop it on Ashley, but Ashley bodied him at the arcade, and she was like, no rematches. I'm the boss at this. I'm Top Gun. So that's what's up. So they trying to introduce Will into the family on a Banks trial, like he gotta run through whatever kind of embarrassing shit that they had to do before. So they trying to keep that energy, but in the midst of that, Carlton asking, he acted extra shiesty. He like, I want to see how this guy handles this situation. I'm gonna watch him. He very interesting, but everything Carlton say sounds mad extra snaky.
Right? Yo, like I said, he's on his Wu Shiesty shit today.
Oh, big Wu Shiesty. So all right. So we get into this with Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil up there, and he's making a big performance piece in front of all his colleagues and everything, and he chats about the for-profit prison issue going on with all the youth that get grabbed up in all this, because he said he's sick and tired of all this shit that's going down in the prisons that keep our young black men incarcerated and all this shit going down. And the moment they said this, the old man right beside Will put his hand on his shoulder and start tapping him. I was like the disrespect. Right off rip, they put that energy straight out on that man. He was like, you hear your uncle holding up for you with everything. Will was extra feeling disrespected. I felt the disrespect from out the camera and shit like that. I felt that whole energy. I was like, that's some bullshit. So after Phil gets his speech done and stuff like that, they go back in the house, and we got Phil's chat. Will and Phil chats on rules because this Uncle Phil did not want to take no kinds of bullshit. He talking about. He said ground rules in the house. Phil explained that he got him out of jail early. Will feels like he's being used for the representation of all his speech that he's talking about with Prophet Prison and the youth getting locked up and shit like that. He don't want to be some like representation for that shit. He didn't ask for their help and everything, but he got pulled out here. But he gotta accept that he's here for protection because Uncle Phil kept it real. He like, you know why you here. Like, if we send you back, like he said, you know, like if there was no problem, I send you back tonight. But like, we legit know if we send you back, you gonna get killed. Like legit, you ain't gonna survive the 24. So he's here for protection, but they getting their story straight, and he's here for the future. So they matching up the stories to make sure, because Uncle Phil said he had to pull a lot of strings to help Phil to help Will get out of his charge. And yo, I got spooked the moment he talking about, bro, you got caught with a 9mm. He went specific in detail, so he knew the case right off rip in full. He got full detail, so we definitely need to find out how the fuck this nigga got that charge wiped out, because that's some power move shit.
Yeah, for real. Listen, I don't know what Phil had to do to get that charge to go away.
He made it sound like it was some serious deal and shit. And his friends is so. I like how he did it, but like his colleagues don't know, but they want to know. It definitely sounds like they trying to find out, and that's a danger. I don't know what he did, but it sounds like it's on some shady shit too.
Yeah, and they definitely trying to find out. They sus too.
They on his shit. So Will goes back to the room, kind of frustrated on what happened. He throws the jacket down, and then instantly he gets a call, stressed out as fuck, Trey, talking about he's scared because Rashad, not Papoose, got hitters all over. Got hitters all over the city, and they looking for him. Like, they going off crazy, and they blaming everybody for this shit. And they chased him down. And Trey is extra stressed. He was like, bro, you gotta come back. They said you skipped town, you ratted on them, and X, Y, and Z. So obviously Rashad and his hitters is out, and I don't know how the fuck they got out, but Rashad is out there hunting him. So Trey's talking about, yo, you wherever you is, you gotta come back tonight. You gotta set shit straight. So Will's like, yo, I gotta be on my defense shit. I said, this is the young, stupid energy coming off of Will, because I'm like, bro, what the fuck you gonna do? If this nigga got hitters looking for you, why the fuck you gonna go back in the area? What you think you gonna talk this down? Bro said, I'm gonna see you again. You raised the gun to me earlier. You obviously want to kill me, so I'm gonna kill you before you kill me. So obviously, I'm like, Will, what are you doing? What you mean you gonna go?
And something he gonna be a hero.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, you can't play saving it. Why you think your mom did this? Why you gonna defy your mom like she ain't out here trying to save you from dying? Like, what you gonna run back there talk about stop the gun violence, bro? You started the gun violence, bro. Like, it's too far, bro. That's why you're here. So right. Will calls up Jazz to drive him, and yo, this scene was mad funny. This nigga there hopped the gate. This nigga jumped over the cage. He was like, what is this? Jazz said, what is this Splinter Cell Jackie Chan ass bullshit I'm seeing right now?
Wait, Jazz is like, hold up. Jazz is like, first, ain't nobody better be dead that
fast. He's like, you better not catch no gun charge, nothing. Like, you're not gonna catch me caught up. I'm just a local taxi man. You're not gonna get me caught up in no bullshit. So this nigga Will try to explain shit in 2.5 seconds, and in the midst, before they even leave, I said this was on some drug kingpin level type shit. Joffrey was on one side, and Uncle Phil was on the other side, and they popped in. And yo, shout outs to the blue light, the blue lighting that's inside of Jazz's taxi. It looks beautiful because everybody looks beautifully shiny. But Uncle Phil and Joffrey scared the living shit out of me, because they look like two niggas who just found you on an escapee drug deal, because they was like, where you think you going? Your house is right here.
They like, you not the mob, we the motherfucking mob.
Dead ass, yo. That was some extra mobster energy. He pulled up. He was like, so sir, who are you? And yo, they was like, Jazz, how much is this gonna take for you to leave? He was like, a few shillings. And Joffrey just pulling out the hundreds and just throwing it at this nigga like this shit drug money. This shit drug money. They just throwing out, yo, Jazz like, man, I don't like it here. Jazz said, yo, I don't gotta do shit, and y'all just keep paying me. I'm gonna do this. Will call me more often. If you got shenanigans, because these niggas yours score, stop me and give me money.
Yeah, Jazz like, yo, thank you for your money, Uncle Phil.
Facts. So they pull Will's ass back in the house, and right off the rip, this is exactly what I was thinking, because Will's acting stupid, obviously. He's like, yo, we got about like 27 cameras around the house, and you thought we didn't see you trying to leave? we saw your ass struggling to get off that gate.
Yeah, the fact that he's like off the gates, and I'm like, no.
Did you think we had to run to catch you? We walked, bro. We saw you when you tried to get out your room. Like, bro, listen, you ain't. They was like, Will, you ain't planned this through. What you gonna do? You gonna go there, and what you gonna do? Get shot? What you doing? You stupid. Yo, so they having a whole discussion about, they talking about living. Will low key starts to give that famous dad speech, talking about, I've been on my own, I've been living, I don't need nobody else and stuff like that, and they start to make like inferences about Will's dad too, but they don't say enough. And I'm starting to think stuff. I'm like, yo, so what happened to his dad? X, Y, and Z. I'm starting to think mystery shit, because Phil and Viv, after they send Will back to the room, Phil and Viv start chatting on them getting Will in the whole situation. They said they owe it to Viv, said they owe it to her sister after all the stuff that happened, and they made another inference about his dad, and I'm like, something happened to Will's dad, and I feel like it has something to do with them, because they say it like something happened and it was their fault, low key.
And yeah, there's some mystery or something there that they're probably gonna unravel at some point down the line.
They constantly dropping these unraveling bombs that I'm ready to find out. Like, this is a mystery puzzle.
Maybe Will's dad took the L for them,
or maybe he got caught up in some drug bust, and they had to send. Maybe he was the lawyer that had to send him to prison or something. Maybe his dad's in jail.
So, possibly.
Yeah. So mom called. So later on, we got mom calling Will up with the facts, talking about. So this is the next morning. Mom calls him up with the facts, talking about Will's stressed because he don't feel comfortable in the new area, and his mom said, all right, think about where you was at 24 hours prior in the jail cell, and now think about where you waking up now. Don't you think you in a better situation? Like, yo, his mom keeps coming in with the gems, talking about, don't forget, your crown is there, you just got to pick it up and be ready to wear it. Like, she just keeps on this iteration that he's a king, which goes back to the very beginning scene where you saw him in the throne with the crown on, feeling like the man. Like, his mother make sure he is good, pillared, and safe, and everything. Shout out to this mother, because she is doing it big time. Big respect to her and all the stresses that she go through trying to handle this shit. So Will starts to feel that energy come back. He feels nice. He going downstairs. He doing that old school shit where you slide down that shit and you try not to bust your ass when you sliding down steps and shit like that, when you see a shit scoop. So he goes into the kitchen. Do you notice that the kitchen low-key looks like the old school set?
Yeah, I did peep that. I was like, oh, at least they got some throwback. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was nice. So the family was all there eating and stuff like that. Shout outs to a big shock on this, but yo, Hillary cooking. They got chefs. I know they got chefs all around, but Hillary out here making breakfast for everybody. Boy, and she making it fire. So this nigga, they talk about yo, they talk about,
so we know.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said, we know Jeffrey not gonna do it because he's the house manager.
Yo, all he was doing was sitting down checking his iPad. He was like, if y'all want food, I'm gonna get somebody on it. Somebody else gonna be on it. But Hillary is about that cook life. She trying to be in she trying to be in what was it, old culinary? That's what they said.
Yeah, Viv got her set up with something there. Old culinary, so say okay. Yeah,
so she got set up with the old culinary shit. So she trying to finesse whatever. So Will ask for some cheese eggs, some of this classic shit that he got back in Philly. And yo, sis hooked it up. Like Hillary knew what's up. And then Carlton.
Side note, cheese eggs hit.
Oh yeah, facts. Facts, big time. And the way how Hillary made it, it looked like she had the whole family fed and good. Like, yo, Hillary's something else in this series. So Carlton and Will, they all sitting at the table and they schmoozing and stuff like that. And Carlton talking about all the stuff that he got coming up later, and everybody talking about all the stuff that they got to handle and stuff like that. And Uncle Phil suggests that Carlton hang out with Will to get acclimated because he's gonna start school at Bel-Air Academy on Monday, so he wants him to follow him around, get acclimated to the school, meet people and stuff like that. So Carlton against all that shit. He was like, he gotta go where with who? Nah, fuck out of here. So Carlton big hating. So so he gets sent out, and he was like, yeah, it's time for y'all to hang out. So Carlton, when we go over to Bel-Air Academy, and Carlton big times him. He on the lacrosse court about to play, and he talking about don't embarrass me or my family and shit like that. Like, just go around and go see what's up. And then he go out to play with his team. Carlton said, "This is my school, and I'm the man. So fuck around and find out."
So before we get into Carlton and his bullshit, yeah, at this point, when we started the episode, I was on the fence about Hillary, but at this point, she grew on me.
Hillary is dope. Hillary's fucking dope. So,
but now back to this ops.
hating ass nigga, yeah. So yeah, Carlton big time him, and then he goes off with his white folk friend. So Will looks around at anybody he knows, and he notices Lisa going through her swim talents and busting it out like Michael Phelps. Now, I guess off rip, Will figured, yo, let me clock this girl. Like, he probably saw how fast she was swimming through, and he was like, yo, let me clock her to see exactly how fast she is. And then Will went over to see Lisa as she got out of the pool. And do you remember the number that he clocked her at?
Not exactly, but I know it was something fat.
Yeah, I think it was like 2264 or something like that. He told her, and then when he introduced himself and told her that, she flipped out. She was like, "Oh shit, I'm beating national records." She trying to set herself up for the Olympics, so she is top quality out here.
Yeah, she is big height, body.
Facts. So she gets out of the water, and she low-key almost splashed Will, and Will almost flipped out. This nigga said, yeah, yo, chill.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the number was 2264.
22, yeah, okay.
I knew I had it written down somewhere.
Yeah. So Lisa popped out, and she was like, "Oh, she was like, you talking to me? I mean, cause you Carlton's family and stuff like that." And when Lisa said this, I flipped out. She was like, Carlton's my ex. I was like, yo, I told you the vibes was weird.
Oh yeah, as cold as she was to him, I was like, oh, they definitely was a thing at some point.
Oh, big facts. It was that kind of levels of awkward. So they schmoozing and shit like that, and everything was Gucci. They talking it out on the situation, on how just everything leading up to the stuff at the school and what she trying to do with her future and stuff like that. And then it leads into the song "Hot Nigga" by Bobby Shmurda. And you think it's just like some montage song that's just bopping, and then it just keeps rolling until we get into a scene backstage with Carlton and his fuckboy ass team members, and Carlton's looking like the OD token nigga in there. They all saying "hot nigga," and the white people is going off just saying nigga this, hot nigga that. And Will was not with it. Will pulled up and he was like, "Cut the bullshit."
I wasn't with it either.
That. I wasn't with everybody black watching this shit, and Carlton just hot nigga.
And then what pissed me off about this shit is Carlton sitting there dancing like shit is all sweet. I want to punch Carlton in the face.
He dancing like something. He dancing like Sambo. He in there looking extra boogity out there. And Will cut that shit out. He was like, nah, none of y'all can say nigga. Fuck out of here. And Carlton trying to defend his whole white teammates. Talk about, hey, this is his white whoever the white teammate came through. He was like, I don't give a fuck who you are, and you can't tell me I can't say what I can say. So fuck you. And Carlton's trying to calm down the situation. He's like, nah, that's my cousin. He gonna come to Bel-Air Academy on Monday. And you starting shit already, talking all this bullshit, talking about, yo, bro, calm down. It's just a word. And yo, son, when Will and Carlton got back to the house, they had a big fiery ass argument, talking about, yeah, it's just a word. Yo, black rappers rap it all the time and sell it to white kids. So you expect white kids not to say shit? Like, he was going off on big defense. Talk about, yo, it's just a word, let him say it and shit like that. Yo, he was big defending him. And Will just looked at him. He was like, you a fucking sucker.
Yo, the more Carlton talked, the more pissed off I was getting. I was
dead ass, yo. He was some bullshit. Carlton talking about you pulling out the race card. You day one. You ain't making no friends and shit like that. I'm like, bro, son, you a big ass sucker.
Ooh, this. Oh,
Carlton's just everything just keep adding up. So Aunt Viv just come out of nowhere and she was like, yo, what's going down? Carlton's like, yo, we just having a heated debate. And Will's like, yeah, heated debate for sure. So Aunt Viv tries to talk to Will about adapting and shifting, because she talking about her West Philly past and how she had to survive because family is important out here. Like, she ain't forgot who she was, but at the same time she had to still, rock with it. And then everything. This is how she survived. How the bougie act out here. She got to keep to herself, and her friends and her family really keep on the up and up for out here.
Yeah, at the same time.
Whew. Yep. And then, yo, this shit took me the fuck out. The next scene we see Carlton, yo, he said he was crushing up Xanax. Fuck out of here. This nigga was chopping it up and snorting fucking cocaine. Y'all can't sell anything about, yo, I don't care what you want to say. This nigga was snorting cocaine. I was like, yo, I can't say, yo, talk about a switch scene deviation. That shit took me out. I was like, holy shit.
Listen, I don't like this Carlton at all. First he a op, then he a cool, and now he want to be a whole crackhead. I'm like, yeah.
He a op, cool crackhead.
I'm like, what is going on? I was like, they're finding every way possible for me to not like this man.
This is the first episode, and I am flipping. I am doing fucking backflips right now. This nigga, yo, on the levels of, we all say it in the black community, for all the drugs. We know once you hit cocaine, you wildin'. This nigga got the purest kind. I was like, this nigga that's officially when you know you got too much money. This nigga, Will and Carlton had continued their argument and shit. And yo, this nigga said, yo, you should have knocked. I was like, bro, you're wildin'. You're so wildin'.
Yo, just when you think Carlton can't get any worse,
it just gets going. And then Will's talking about, yo, let's make a showing of things to protect our thing to Aunt Viv, and just make it a showing thing so she knows we all cool and it's all Gucci and we can ride it out. So she don't have to press us about some situations. So we gonna make a showing at this white pool party. So we switch over and they agree to go into the pool party. They go off to the pool party and if you're looking around at the pool party,
before we get to there, I know Will in the back of his mind probably thinking, Uncle Phil worried about me. He be worried about you.
Nigga said, well, her booger language is in some situations. Then you doing cocaine.
Like you got the mob out on me, but homie over here snorting the whole road.
Nigga, this adds to my vibe that Uncle Phil and Joffrey got some drug operation on the side because they got way too much money, man. I get that this nigga a high power lawyer in Bel-Air, but Jesus Christ, yo, this look like drug money. This look like drug money. This house is everything look way too beautiful. Y'all niggas got a side operation going on. Come on, son. Y'all got something.
Maybe Carlton's the plug.
Maybe Carlton using the plug. Fuck out of here. Probably he one of those people that die. The first rule is you don't dive into your own supply. This nigga already breaking that rule. So we switch over. We go back into the white pool party, and I specifically mean white pool party because if you look around in the motherfucking pool party, ain't nobody but Will, Carlton, and we'll see over with Lisa, the only black people at this goddamn pool party. So obviously this is a white people party. We find Lisa finds Will and they trying to celebrate. She got in through the scholarship and stuff like that. So they wanna talk and stuff like that. Lisa pulls Will to talk and she's talking about how Lisa's family and the Banks family are tight. But she's like, I never heard of you. So I know something got to be up in this line, like what's going on. And she low key defends Carlton too. That's the proof that they had a long history. She talking about cut Carlton some slack because you don't know what he been through. And I'm like, what he been through? And then on top of that, we do a side by side scene. The next scene is this nigga doing more cocaine with his friends.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what he been? I'm
Bro,
like, you know what?
And the worst part about it is, his friend is only smoking weed. This nigga still doing cocaine.
That's what I'm saying. That shit is wild. Like, he over here. I'm like, his friends over here with the weed and you over here. I'm
with
like,
the booger sugar, my nigga. Whoa. Yo, Carlton gets way too fucking bugged out. And Carlton's talking with his man, talking about if you want Lisa back, you gotta show some action because other niggas about to mosey in on your shit if I see. So Carlton all hopped up on the drugs. He feeling that vibe. He's like, yo, I'm playing the long game, but I'm gonna get her back. I'm gonna get Lisa back. That's mine. That's mine. I put it down on mine. And Lisa and Carlton sees that Lisa, you know, it's a proof that Lisa ended the relationship and she dipped on him, obviously. So, so Carlton looks over and sees Will and Lisa getting close. And getting so close that they start dancing with each other, all provocative, they mad close, and then they start making out. And yo, that triggered this nigga's cocaine habit straight to a fault. He gets OD pissed off, and then he goes all the way in his drug-infused rage and goes all the way to Will. And Will's like, yo, you alright? And he pushes Will off into the pool. Just straight fit and everything. He going straight down because Will said earlier he can't swim, so he just falling off. And then this is what creates kind of the side by side throne situation where he's underwater in the throne and has the crown and everything. Mm-hmm. You see him kind of floating like Kendrick Lamar in that song Drink. So we got him floating down, and then you see shout outs to black women all the time because Lisa. She didn't protect her hair. She didn't worry about nothing. She instantly went diving in to go save that boy, and she saved that boy like the hero, like the aqua woman she is. She went down, floating down, and picked that boy clean up. So she got the saving on his ass. So
for real, she jumped in there. I was like, oh, Lisa saved. I was like,
yeah,
okay.
The black. There we go, black women saving us again. So Lisa went to go save him, and then Will came out, and then the disrespect. Carlton's like, he just making a show of it. He just playing off. He just pretending.
I'd hit him too.
Will, once again, Will, who showed that his hands are rated E for everyone, whether you white, black, family or not. He cracked the first white guy. He cracked straight off rip, and then he goes to Carlton, and then he cocks back, and then he throws the punch straight at Carlton. And then that's our cliffhanger. The theme ends. The ending theme is with Meek Mill again. I was like, yo, bro. So what's your final impression on this first episode?
Why you ain't showing me the punch? And then I can rewind it and watch it again and rewind it and watch it again.
They was like, if you ready for this punch, you better click the next episode, baby. If you want to see this nigga get decked, they was like, yo, we built this up to be so you hate this nigga. So yeah, check the next episode to see this nigga get cracked.
Right? I'm like, come on, old girl in the back was recorded too. What I would have played it back. I would put it on a loop. Just to watch Carlton get decked again and again and again and
what
again.
A cliffhanger. Because, if you didn't want to punch Carlton, nigga, something was wrong with you.
I wanted to punch Carlton. I'm saying that.
So go ahead. Go on. What's final impressions for the whole thing in general?
So I like this. I thought
Yeah.
there were some people that had some heat because they were expecting, I guess, them to keep it close to the original.
Well, they set it off rip that it was drama and
Yeah.
all the stuff that's marketed off. They knew that it was gonna be a challenge to like take on a comedy role because I mean, look at what we did with that first episode. That first episode was hard to match if you trying to top Will Smith's comedy in the '90s. So it's especially in these times.
And I get it. So the way I took this like the superhero approach with the multiverse. I was like, okay, this is Earth 15, and this is how things will look.
And also a reminder to everybody: two things can be both good at the same time. Ain't going to diminish one or the other. You ain't going to beat the Fresh Prince of the '90s, not at all. And this can be just as good. It's on two separate lanes.
Yep. I like the fact that they went the different route with Uncle Phil. Because if you would have tried to do anything, he would have got compared to James. And
and that's not fair.
Because James is like that in that upper echelon, especially one of a kind in history.
Especially
for that
now
role.
that he's passed away. It's like this guy who came in had to come in with his own kind of swag and stuff like that. He could watch Uncle Phil's video, but he can't get any like mentoring like Jabari could with Will, who's actually alive and he's directing this shit. Like if James Avery was alive and they were still behind on this, he would have been in the back talking to this guy.
So I said James was that Uncle Phil. That Uncle Phil rock with James, so like some things you just don't need to replicate, and that was his, and we're gonna keep moving forward. We're gonna push it forward, and it's like okay. So I had some notes on here. Like I said, for me, like I said, initially Hillary, I was kind of on the fence about when the episode started, but by the time we got to the end of this episode, I was rocking with Hillary.
Yeah,
Jeffrey was the same. When they first showed Jeffrey, I was like, I don't know. But I like manager / mafia boss Jeffrey.
Facts, bro. He's always got a wad. This nigga got an iPad in the hand. This Joffrey don't need to work. That's the best thing I've ever seen about this nigga. This nigga is a boss of every kind. If Phil's a boss, Joffrey's just as boss. Cause this nigga does not work. He has other people to work for him because he's a boss. You got two bosses in the fucking house.
Jazz, Lisa, and Viv are A1.
Yeah. I want to see. The only thing I gotta say is we haven't seen enough of Ashley yet.
Yeah, I have not seen enough of her to make the determination, but she's just kind of there.
Yeah, I mean the only stylings we've seen of her so far is that she good at the arcade ball. That's kind of it.
Yeah,
like we didn't like unlike the first episode, which I'm gonna bring up in the retrospective. But unlike in the first episode where they detailed and looked upon Ashley herself, this one it looks like it's gonna take some time for us to get some loving from the Ashley character. I just hope they don't treat this Ashley character, since she has been like big represented in the very beginning. I just hope she gets her time to shine and not end up like one of those side siblings that go upstairs and never come back down.
Like Judy.
Yeah, we don't Judy her.
Yeah, they gotta flesh her out a little bit because right now she's just kind of there.
Yeah, but out of a big cast, she's kind of the only one that's had that situation so far.
Yeah, and then we got this Carlton.
Well, Aunt Viv too. Aunt Viv, shout outs to Aunt Viv keeping that. She's a nurturer. The women in this show, they showing themselves very nicely because I seriously love the fact that the moment she saw Will come in, she not only talked to him like, yo, I respect your Philly swag and how you came off and stuff like that, but she asked him personally, are you okay? She actually showed a nurturing side to her nephew.
Listen, the casting for Aunt Viv was on point. They captured the essence of OG, and it's like right at home.
And on top of that, I remember her from Atlanta, and she was specifically in that episode where she was also playing a rich wife, but she was a rich wife to that white man that was wilding on African culture. So they pieced that together like right on rip because that lady knew all about surviving and keeping with her culture. So her taking that straight into this show, she's still the same, and it's A1. So yeah, the casting is on point.
Yep, and like I said, and then there's Carlton.
If you how to make you hate a character in one episode, right rip, because this nigga went to the top of lists.
If that was the goal, they aced the assignment. Because,
that was definitely the goal. That was definitely the goal. There's no way you can walk into this and not think that is. Whew.
I want to fight him.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the end of this episode, I was cheerful. Like, hit him. Hit him.
He's an asshole. He's a coon. he's a druggie. That nigga wildin'.
Nah, and I was like, I appreciate Lisa saying you don't know his situation. Nah, the situation he need to get is these hands and these feet.
Yeah, that's you can respect the situation, but they don't have to be the reason why he got to be ass like a complete and utter like your past don't got to define your future, and he's letting a whole bunch of shit define him. So I don't know what's his past, but he need to get boxed up to remind him what his past was, so he don't got to be so much of an asshole.
Yeah, man, for real, asshole.
Shit. So my final impressions was, what a stark difference. We start this show off as an outlook on Philly, turned into so much going on in LA, where we got to see a lot of Bel-Airs too. I'm on hook to how many enemies Will made. Yo, we gotta talk about how many enemies Will made in this episode as well, bro. There's mad niggas watching Will. There's mad niggas hunting for Will. Like he's got basis on not Papoose after his ass. We got Carlton hating on his ass. We got all these professional people watching his ass. We got the white people hating on his ass from the Bel-Air Academy. We got the police, or we got the police not vibing with him at all. Like, bro, everything. Yo, this nigga Will making so many enemies in this first episode is crazy.
Yo, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Carlton and not Papoose team up at some point.
Listen, I could see, like, if not Papoose find out where he at and he pull up and he like, yo, I'm looking for Will. This nigga snitching.
Ooh, you know he is.
Especially if a gun come out. Oh, listen, he is ratting on this nigga's pinpoint location. This nigga giving him longitude and latitude.
Ops.
But yes, so how many enemies Will made and just all this shit, and yo, the black excellence going on in this show, not only with the beautiful people and how the camera looks on everybody looks amazing. With the dark skin, and everybody looks fucking amazing.
Chocolate all over. I'm here for it.
And they're all fucking powerful. We see all lines of blackness all through this show in various connotations and doing various things. Whether they looking rich, whether they're trying to survive, whether X, Y, and Z, it is amazing to see all this shit. So it's fire to see going on, and I am hooked and enthralled in these changes on how hard they're going right now, and I'm definitely wanting to continue because I need to see the end of that punch.
For real, yeah, man. I was like, he finally. I was like, yeah. Now let me see it.
Let me see the rest of that ass whooping. If you don't want to click next, I don't know, bro. But this taking its own lane is this is what we mean by doing reboots. You have to take the heart of some series, and sometimes if you can capture it in a different kind of lane, that's exactly what you got to go through. This is definitely an outlook of what you'll see with a show like this going the route of 2022. Like, it was different in the 90s where you can joke about situations and shit going on. I'm gonna step into the retrospective to go speak on like some of the stuff that I want to talk on more personally, but like, yo, there was an important stride to hit in a difference to show that it's a difference of time that's going on between these two series, and it's important to know that.
Yeah, man.
So stepping into the retrospective, I wanted to talk a little bit about, alright, so right off rip, we got, my notes in the retrospective is the example of a 2-minute explanation versus a 15-minute explanation of what happened. Because in the introduction to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, we get the 2-minute, intro where he explains all the stuff that's going down, and we have it in a very jokey tone where he's playing around, which it's a comedy show. But when you have 15 minutes on a drama to explain exactly what happened, where Will's dealing with gangs and gang violence going on and gang pressing him and him having to keep the honor code, it puts into retrospective of how serious a situation it has to be. Because think about the concept of you getting into a fight with gang related shit, and then you getting hounded by the police, and then the next day your mom's just saying you're moving to Bel-Air with your auntie and uncle that you haven't seen forever, and you just moving. You have to move because of a situation. It's a serious situation. You're in danger. We forget the danger element because we're laughing.
Yeah, it was a comedy, so they just glossed over it.
Of course, which
Yeah,
makes
so-
sense. But now we're in a drama, so you got to like look at this concept more. We gotta dive into, yo, this is a serious situation. This is shit that happens to people every day in West Philly, and not everybody gets an opportunity to leave the vicinity. They gotta survive after the shit goes down. They gotta be scared for their life. Like Trey didn't got no auntie and uncle. This nigga's in a situation. This nigga's sitting there. He's like, oh fuck.
And that's why one of the reasons why Will tried to go back.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if you look in the grand scheme of this is Will's fault.
Yeah.
Everything that happens to Trey is Will's fault, because Trey literally told him, don't do this. And he said, I gotta pull for my team. So Trey just being smart, because he's like, these are gangsters and they will shoot you. So I'm just going to hand you a piece just on the rip or protection. And then they ended up jumping Trey, and then he used the gun. And then that's how this whole shit started.
And that's the wild part about this shit, is that Trey tried to do everything to be safe, and Trey got the shit in the everything.
Imagine your best friend caused this shit, and then the next day you don't know where your best friend went. This nigga talking about he in LA, bro. You ain't even here to ride out with me, bro. Bro, they gonna kill me, and it's your fault. Talk about conscience.
Yeah, son. I'm like, I was watching that, and I was like, shit.
That is crazy. So I also said one of the retrospective is Will show versus tell mentality of how he was the man in Philly. So I liked how we had some time where it showed literally how Will was like the poppin'est nigga in West Philly. Like he had ladies, he had niggas looking after him, he had company of recruits and everything. Like he was set up real nice at West Philly to like pull out like a Future and shit like that. Will used to tell on how he used to be like the coolest dude in West Philly back in the Fresh Prince. But then flip side, I love that we get to see it. So it's a show more versus tell mentality of stuff. So we get to see that shit. So I said that was fire. That was fire in general. And then the concept of just the comedy and drama in general. One of the retrospective I was talking about was, let's talk about network freedom versus network hold. Now, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air happened in the 90s during the time where, like, you got network representation in, like, NBC and stuff like that, and they're not gonna sit there and let you say a lot of shit. In this network freedom of a show, you get to throw all kinds of nigga, say this and X, Y, and Z and stuff like that. You get mad freedom to talk any kind of way you want. So if niggas came in from the 90s watching Fresh Prince, and then they watching this and hearing the kind of language niggas is using, boy, this is a stark flip that this is different.
Listen, no network was letting this go.
Oh, no. Not the realness they talk about. A whole discussion about the use of the N-word use for white people? Oh, please. What?
Not at all. So that whole scene when it got cut, and
that's why this shit's on the Peacock streaming network and not on NBC TV.
Sorry, like clip. No, listen, no. Well, we not going to.
NBC's like, nah, we not doing this discussion on TV. No.
They probably pitched it for TVs like,
no,
we not. This is going on a network.
This is going on a network.
You gonna go over there with the WWE stuff? Nah, you not gonna come over here with this.
Facts. Go right there with that shit. The jokes change. Also I was talking about the jokes changing over time, like the same kind of jokes that Will was kind of making in the Fresh Prince in the 90s was not the same kind of jokes that was gonna fly. Like even him like making fun of Carlton's blackness or some of the gay ambiguous jokes that he was making about Carlton, because he was talking about being going more for Bryant Gumbel and shit like that. The shit like that ain't flying today. Shit like that ain't flying today at all. I was talking about also topics dealing in, like we was talking before, racial divide on a major level with the N-word use and stuff like that, and living in a life full of white people and white school and shit like that. Different kind of levels of topics we dealing on and stuff like that.
I was hoping Will was used them E for everyone hands on that dude when they was in the locker room.
Carlton had to step in between that, but by the end of the episode, at least they gave us that right off rip. He got out that pool and he was like, nah, my hands is heavy on spaghetti. Bam, son. He knocked that nigga clean out. So I'm happy with that. Respect on that. I was talking about the comparison of Will and Uncle Phil chatting on both sides. Both of them was dramatic on the situation going down. I love James Avery having that spiritual discussion and talking about how he was there for Malcolm X's discussions is just as important as this Uncle Phil talking to him about him getting out of the police with the prison reform that's plaguing us today, and the whole situation with the gun charges and everything. That like what Uncle Phil said in the show is more like along the lines is the storyline they got going on, but it's the wider range of the story that's going on that they're talking about, while like Uncle Phil's talking about like real life stuff with also with Malcolm X and watching the brother speak and the game changing of just everything with the outlook and stuff. This is like the way how the Banks family is living is stuff of dreams that black people would dream to have a life like that, and servants like that, boy. Listen.
Yeah, man, they living the dream. I'm like, yo.
Oh, facts. Also in my notes, I was talking about the Will versus Carlton comparison. That first episode of Fresh Prince versus this episode of Bel-Air. Yo, outlooks of Carlton. Carlton was that annoying to funny looking ass person in the first episode, but this first episode, yo, you definitely want to deck Carlton.
Definitely want to deck Carlton.
Ooh, big time. You didn't want to fight Carlton as much as you wanted to fight Carlton now with all the wild shit he doing.
Yeah, Carlton is on that. From this one episode, Carlton is on that Tyreek level where you just want to whoop his ass. Sight.
Yeah, right off rip. I'm talking about Power Book 1, Tyreek going all through them situations. Like, nah, you a mess.
And that's just one episode, and he up there, yo. He up there.
Big time. And then we got Will versus Carlton over Lisa situation, which is a complete flip. Lisa and Carlton was as far as friends in the old school series. Like, as far as friends. But damn, son, the whole vicinity of them meeting this early and then freaking the whole past with Carlton and shit like that shit puts everything upside his fucking head.
It definitely does.
Yeah, and it just adds to the drama, especially how obsessive Carlton's over his life and his past, and him feeling like Will's moseying in on everything and just causing more drama and a whole bunch of shit like that. It's crazy. Everything's just crazy. So. Yeah. That's crazy. I also wrote down Joffrey's situation, being the house manager, seeing you working, and then seeing you being the boss is two different levels.
Yeah, he's like, Jeffrey, I'm the butler. Jeffrey like, no, I'm the house manager.
Jeffrey today, and looking at Jeffrey in the past, like, no, we ain't doing that, sir.
He's like, you see this? I run this.
Ain't no Benson. I'm the captain now.
Yo,
shit.
And Jeffrey, then, one time in the show, Jeffrey, you gotta say.
Oh, it's a whole season. We got 2 seasons, bro.
So saying one time.
We letting it know. For the one time, we letting it know. Also, I said the meeting of Jazz. Besides Jazz being his friend, already established. I think Jazz in the show was from West Philly, right?
They didn't. I don't think they said. He just mentioned that Will was from West Philly. I don't know if they mentioned where Jazz was from.
Oh, okay. So I like this introduction to on our side of how Will and Jazz just met right off the flip side, and Jazz being the iconic taxi driver that took him to Bel-Air instead of some random guy. So it just establishes the repartee, and then Jazz putting that thing in his head to just always be yourself and not lose yourself in that shit. That's powerful. That's the kind of friends that you want. So I'm here for more Jazz.
Oh man, I'm trying to think about this. Will we actually get the classic yeet of Jazz in this show?
I don't know. Honestly, if Uncle Phil ever yeeted Jazz, I think it would have been a scarier situation. That seems way more of a scary situation.
You know what? I think it might be Jeffrey that doesn't this go around.
Honestly, yo, if any of them niggas put their hands on Jazz, I think it's gonna be a way more situation than that. Cause when they pulled up on that car, bro, that shit looked like a drug bust gone wrong.
Son, the way they rolled up on that car, yo, they send the goons,
bro. They didn't even send the goons. They went personally. That's how you know you shitting bricks. They didn't even have to run at the car. You didn't even hear their footsteps. They just showed up. Where you going? Oh shit!
Yeah, look at just like oh, this is a shakedown. Jazz like, oh shit, this is a shakedown. Oh man, I ain't got nothing here.
Yep. So So,
like, oh, money? Word? Oh, okay. Phil, thank you.
Oh, you're not robbing me. You giving me money. Okay, all right, we're good. See you later, Will. So that was good. I said the comparison in mental health dealing because in the 90s, I mean, we used jokes to cope and everything. That's all we got, and then. Like in this kind of era, we got therapy and we got people who are concerned about your mental health, about you going through situations and trauma. So that's two difference on that. I also said Hillary, the stark difference between these Hillarys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's still a fashionista and stuff like that, but beside all that, this Hillary cooks. This Hillary's. I mean, both Hillarys, they showed their smarts on different occasions, but this Hillary's like one with the social media. This is Hillary if she definitely was today with the social media influences and all over her phones and stuff like that. But this is a working Hillary. Hillary knows, like, she's not like up in the clouds. She knows and wants to be her own person and does her stuff on her own, and you're like, well, shit, because she ain't asked for no money. She knew how to style herself.
If Hillary from the OG show had a daughter and raised her, I think this is what she would look like. This is what her personality would be like.
Yeah, but this one stepped into it. I mean, this one definitely stepped into it, and I mean, after all the growth that Hillary did over the many seasons, then having this kind of daughter, yeah, I would believe so.
Just like that, I think this is a good casting because that's exactly how I would picture Hillary in present time.
Yeah, and then we got the Banks family dynamic, like I was saying before in the arcade. Before Will, I like that they established some time with them alone, so we could see their family dynamic before Will gets like influenced into them. So I like that divide and dynamic and stuff like that. Cause how often do you see a lot of scenes before like Will was into their dynamic, where you saw like Ashley, Hillary, and Carlton just spend time where we see how their family dynamic was before Will showed up.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back to the original show when Will was talking about him and Carlton were talking about, yeah, you're gonna be just like me. I know one thing for sure, Will ain't gonna definitely not be like no Carlton in this new one.
See, I mean, there you go. So it's that shit right there. And then I was like, I was also talking about they was like, since it's been over time and we've had a lot of representation from a lot of places over time. I mean, we've had more people come out of Philly, so the heroes of Philly and the words have rang truth into this new series. Like putting J. Cole, famous line, first thing first, like rest in peace, Uncle Phil, respect. Like to open the show, that you couldn't open the show better. Like if you was doing a reboot, that's exactly how the fuck you start the show, right off rip. And then also putting Meek Mill all through the damn shit to represent Philly, powerful, like important. They know their audience, so yeah, shout outs to all that.
That's how you know Will has his hands in it.
Oh, Will definitely got his hands in it, and Will's friends with Meek, and obviously Meek would want to do this 100%. Put all that shit behind it. And then my last note on the retrospective is just the stress of mothers, the levels of stress. Like Will's mom sent him off, and like we all make the joke that the person in the intro, who the fuck was that? Because the lady we see later, that's Will's mother is completely different. So, but the mother they got for this show looks like her. So that shit, oh my god, that shit was A1. But I was just saying the levels of stress on the mother. Like over time in the Fresh Prince, we find out when his mother comes to visit and stuff like that, how she really felt about sending her baby out there. But this show just rams it home, the connection between Will and his mother right off rip, how much he thinks of him as a young king just ready to prepare himself for the crown. The crown's right there for the grabbing, and she always puts him on a pedestal, but she protects her boy, and she's always checking up on her boy. Like she is a busy working mother stressing out on X, Y, and Z, but she is definitely finding time to protect her baby.
Oh, definitely strong working mother. I'm like, yo, she definitely embodied all that. She bodied that role.
She bodied. I love every scene she was dropping gems. Every gem, bro. And she was smart. I love the fact that she really pieced it together in her head, probably while talking to Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil about it all. But she pieced it in her head. She was like, if you stay here, I'm going to lose my son in under 24 hours. And that's a smart decision. She didn't trust in no justice system. She was like, nah, bro, you are in danger. You got to get the fuck out of here.
For real. She was like, nah.
She was concerned for her son. She didn't tell Trey specifically for this reason. She was like, if I tell Trey, he gonna go out snitching. Like, they gonna hold Trey up. Trey gonna tell you, go snitch and say where you at, and then we just gonna be in the situation again.
Yo, for real. I'm like, did what you had to do, but damn.
Yep. So that's the end of my retrospective. You got any retrospective notes on you?
Just some quick ones. Like I said, I liked the change in dynamic. It actually lets them flesh out the story.
Yep.
Of why Will got there. So we knew what happened when Will got there and all this shenanigans and comedy. But now we're getting to see how we got to this point. What really happened.
Speaking of that's the one thing I forgot to touch on earlier in the episode. Carlton's trying to find out that shit too. That's why he a slimy ass nigga. He like, oh, they brought you here for a better education. He's like, no, but what's the real story? Why you really here, Will? And I was like, all right, slimy ass nigga, back up.
Yeah, him and that partner.
Yeah, shiesty ass niggas, man.
So Will got some ops. Uncle Phil got some problems.
He got ops. He got gangsters. He got clan members. He got all kinds of dealings.
Yeah, so like I said, I could see stuff getting real dicey. Maybe that lawyer start looking in. Maybe his partner start looking into what actually happened, and maybe he's the one that gets in contact with not Pat Poose.
Yeah, like or finds out he did some shit that could get him disbarred because he's running for high power, and maybe my nigga's like, I ain't feeling that because you got this gun charge removed and nobody told you, like, you went over the legal system and you fucked with shit that you shouldn't fuck with.
Yeah, exactly. So, and just regardless between the two, yeah, they said we went from a comedy, it's a drama now. They're fleshing it out. I want to see more on Trey's story too. So I hope they back on that.
Yeah, I feel OD bad about Trey, bro.
Yeah, they definitely need to let us know what happened. Don't just leave Trey there as a untied, loose end question mark.
Facts.
And so, yeah, and flesh out Ashley. Don't make her the Nezuko.
Nah,
show.
Don't make her a plot device. She got talent. If this whole family full of talent, I know she's just waiting for that big moment. I'm waiting to see what poppin' story they got for Ashley, because I feel like everything is basing itself around, and everybody got a story here. So I'm just waiting for us.
So in terms of like the retrospective, I really wasn't trying to compare them in terms of just doing an apples to apples, because I don't think you can. So I just took both for what they were.
Yeah.
Like I said, one here you got the lighthearted comedy, touches on his origins, and then we just go forward. Here we start to flesh out the background and start to really get into the dynamic of his family back in Philly and the Banks family. And you know what I hope they go into? How Phil and Vivian got here. What are their past?
Yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot of their past that needs to be uncovered because they keep talking about this. I keep saying this, bro. This looks way too much money. I like, what is this? Is a lot of money. This is a lot of money.
It's like, because even in the main show, it was mostly about, we didn't really touch on Viv and Phil's past, but so much. Like, how did you guys get from, especially Viv, how did you get from West Philly all the way out here?
Exactly. And when did you two meet exactly?
Yeah, when did you guys meet? Like, was Phil in Philly? Like,
was Phil in Philly?
I'm like,
actually, yo, that's actually funny. I definitely like to see that.
Yeah,
y'all got 2 seasons, and these episodes is long as hell. So like, definitely let us know what's up.
Ooh, you know what I hope they do? I hope they send Phil and Vivian back to Philly at some point just to let us know where they was.
Yo, at some point, why do I feel like I'm gonna see Uncle Phil fighting not Papoose, bro?
Ooh, son! Yo, him and Jeffrey roll out! Yo!
Oh, we got the season finale already booked. Oh,
yo,
let's go.
Like, listen, not Papoose is the problem. And we can't have these loose ends this close to
these
getting this seat.
These niggas look like Jeffrey they can fight. These niggas look like they can fight. 100%. This has got to be like, I can see this nigga not Papoose try to be a pussy, try to grab the gun, bro. It is because he already got waxed up by Will. I don't want to see them two dark skinned brothers fighting. Yo, they are going to. It's gonna look like All Might. It's gonna be looking like Almighty smashing that shit.
Yeah, look, they gonna roll up on Jazz again like, we got an assignment for you. Yeah, Jazz,
facts.
We like, look,
facts.
Like,
Facts, yo. Jazz gonna be lookout to find out the coordinates, and then they go pull up. Oh my god, yo! Watch the second Uncle Phil take off them cufflinks. Oh, it's a wrap. It's gonna be like Rock Lee dropping the weights.
Son, I'm telling you, yo, this him and Jeffrey some goons. I don't care what nobody say.
Y'all, I don't know how far y'all got it filmed in booked, but y'all, let me see a fight scene. Y'all want drama? I'm here for the drama.
Oh, I'm here to see Uncle Phil and Jeffrey scrapping somebody. Scrapping with somebody.
Bro, they look too devious to not box up them on. Come on, man.
Oh,
I'm here for it. So, but yeah, I take it. My retrospective is taking it like two cars going down a lane, but not the same lane, just going down in the same, just like how the Fast and Furious did the shit with Paul Walker, and they was going two lanes. It's kind of the same situation. My comparison is like comparing and seeing how they tackle both scenes, pretty much.
Yeah, so I was like, if anybody that wants to watch, just get the comparisons out of the way. Don't even bother.
Yeah.
Don't.
Like I said,
your experience.
You can enjoy both. This Bel-Air does not slap the Fresh Prince. Will's directing. Like, yeah, y'all gotta get it into this thing. Will took his time to direct this shit during a pandemic. Like, bro, Will's not gonna be out here trying to disrespect his past. Like, he gets it, and he's working with this kid who's, yo, shout outs to this kid named Jabari Banks. His last name was Banks, and he got casted as Will fucking Smith. Bro, he's showing off his chops. He's a good acting kid. So like, shout outs to whatever he wants, whatever he's gonna do in the future. Because I'm very interested to see what he does in like going forward in like other movies and stuff. Like definitely, this is a career maker and shifter. If this shit gets hot on Peacock, bro, you got a hot show on a network. Like that's like on a streaming network. Like that's fire, bro. That's what's up.
Yeah, so I'm just like, chill out with the apples to apples comparison. It's not, you can't do it here.
Yeah,
doesn't work.
I'm telling y'all, this is the heat, though. Watch that shit, man. Enjoy your time.
In terms of just overall, yeah, I'm definitely continuing watching this. I want to go watch 100%. Episode 2 because I tried to stick to just episode.
Nope. That was. I threw my phone the second. I was watching this during the Super Bowl, bro. I stopped watching the Super Bowl. Me and Kay was sitting here, and we was like, the first episode too fire. After I finished my notes, I threw my trap phone to the side, and I was like, bro, I'm watching episode 2. I'm watching episode 3. Just to let everybody know, new episodes come up every Thursday. So the 4th episode is out today. I'm saving that for another good time for me to go continue that, because I am on the hook. I am on the big hook. So I'm trying to watch it. This show has been confirmed for 2 seasons officially, and there's a podcast. There's an official podcast for this show that drops every Friday. It's on Spotify specifically, because I was trying to find it other places, but if you want to look for it, it's Spotify, the official Bel-Air podcast, and Jazz is one of the hosts. Classic Jazz.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, Jazz is one of the hosts, and they interview people throughout the series, ask their retrospective on the series and stuff like that. The first episode is with the creator of the YouTube and the one who's working alongside with Will to produce this whole thing, and how good his job is doing this shit like that. And that's all fire on that. That drops every Fridays for new episodes on that. So it's an episode on Thursday and the podcast on Friday. So shout outs to them.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like I said, so unlike my co-host, I only watched episode one. I closed the Peacock app after the fact, and I have not been in there since.
I said fuck this. I said fuck the Super Bowl. I watched the rest of this shit. This shit heat. This shit heat, yo. Nah, son. That's alright, bro. Like Bel-Air been. I needed a new fire show, and that's just sitting there. I got that, and shout outs to my power on Sunday. We lost Demon Slayer because Demon Slayer done, so we still running through the Attack on Titan, and then we got power for Sundays, and then we got Bel-Air whenever you ready to watch it and shit like that. Like, I needed to ask for the week because everything's finishing. Book of Boba done. Peacemaker finished today. Like, I need new content.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to watch Carlton get punched over and over and over again.
Shit. So we gonna close that book on this retrospective. This was fun. Me and the co-host been trying to aim at this shit since Sunday. We was trying to get on to it. When I hit him up, I said, "Yo, this shit I undermined completely going in. If you heard our old reboot news on this shit, we was not giving this shit a pin. But man, shout outs to impressing me. So it's definitely on the hook line. So closing the book on that. Preview for next review episode. We back with Down with BMP, Black More for Power. And for this upcoming week, I say that we do Power Rangers Dino Thunder, episode 1 and 2.
Okay, we back with BMP? I swear we missed the comfy couch in here somewhere.
No. This was the comfy couch.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, the Thursday hit you, bro. We was already on the couch. Look around.
Oh damn! So I see. This is what happens when I don't have my shot of Kurosaki. You see what happens?
You're right.
You messed me all up.
Well, no, we had the shot of Kurosaki last week. That was the Outlaw Star, bro.
Like I said, this is Thursday. Just got me all messed up, y'all.
See? Bro, just to let the people know, before we was on this shit, we was already chatting for like 20 minutes before we realized we hit record. This is take 2. Thank God I was looking up because, boy, if we went full force in this shit, and we realized we wasn't recording this whole time, we would have been dumb tight.
Oh yeah, that would have been horrible. Yeah,
that would have been big bad. But on this Thursday situation, shit. All right, so just to let y'all know, if y'all trying to hit us up about any situation, we got email set up at blerdbynature@gmail.com, Facebook and Instagram at Blerd By Nature, Twitter at Blerd By Nature, NATURE. Maurice, hit us with the YouTube.
As always, to find us on YouTube, you can search Blerd By Nature Podcast.
Yup. And do we have any last notes before we hit this outro?
No, I think we're good to go home.
All right, we're going home with it. Let's go. Thanks for joining us today from Black Thought to Nerd Power. This is Nicholas, Mr. Go With The Flow.
And I am the man with the plan, Maurice.
Shit, and this was another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast. But before we out, yo, I just think in my head right now, you and I is on that Uncle Phil and Joffrey shit. If you the Uncle Phil, I'm Joffrey, and we ready to mix some niggas up.
One punch for Carlton, people. 1 foot for Carlton.
Yeah, he needs a swift ass whooping. Shit. All right. On that note, y'all. Peace.